Well, at first, some of your team wanted to just steal items of legend, artifact level things. You were more or less convinced to do this legally. But your team managed to... Well, first of all, that's not only true. One of your team decided to do this illegally, but super
True.
early beforehand that you didn't get in trouble until just now.
And it wasn't me.
And it wasn't you. I'm going to bring you to your brother's shop before you actually get here. Does it make sense?
True.
Okay, there we go.
Brother.
As you manage to get to this town, you figured out that the Spear of Life is an artifact that you would need to create a new key, or at least a new bounded key. You would need a few other items, and you more or less have a plan on how to get those. You just need one more to round it out. Ray stole one and put it in a poop chute. That's not euphemism or anything. Quite literally, in the bathroom. Real deep.
In the poop.
Right now, you're going to go see the king after getting a few items that Micah bought to make sure that you're actually given an audience. Thaw, or Becky's brother, did tell you about the iron mask that her mother currently holds onto. And then you do need a fourth one, so figure out that on your own or discover it in the world. Honestly, discover it in the world. But with that, your team was more or less ready to go and speak with the king. Thaw said come back anytime. And whether or not you do is entirely up to you.
In Austin, that is Becky's brother. And
Yep,
Becky's...
He's very... How do I put it? Defined.
Tall?
Muscles run in their family.
Like very sharp edges, defined lines.
Well, I'll just tell you, since Becky would also help you with information. You already know this, so that's perfectly fine. Noticing and looking at Becky's brother, looking at her, you can tell that she comes from a more or less mixed race background. Her father is more of a paler complexion, while her mother has a more tan-like skin tone to her. So that does explain why Becky has a more almond skin tone than anything else. Her height, or at least her height, is also connected to her family, as her brother stands like 2 feet taller than Becky. He also has a nice protruding jaw, and honestly has the whole golden ratio thing going about him. So he is actually very attractive. If you find men attractive, I don't know if Dan does, because I don't know. I feel like Dan's fluid.
Yes.
Literally.
Yes.
He finds fluids attractive.
I am water. That's Adam, right? Adam is the brother?
No.
Sola is the brother.
Yeah. Adam
Okay,
is the
said
conscious no one listens to. After appointing him, your guys' group conscious.
Dan finds Sola so much more attractive than Adam.
Oh, there's my brother Thaw. Hello, brother Thaw.
Yeah. He's like a 12, I think, maybe 15 years older than Becky. It's one of those things where married young, had a kid while young, waited a bit, or had in between children. It was Thaw, then Becky after a good amount of time, and then Becky's younger brother, and then her 2 twin little sisters, who are still in school.
Father had high libido.
Yeah, but that's what you know already. But thank you for reminding me, Micah. But Adam, your group conscious, leads you to the king, well, to the court, you present yourselves as, well, actually, this would be at this point, Dan. You presented yourself as one of the members of the uh, the Mandan family, which would be your family.
Yes.
When you presented yourself, they allowed you to move forwards. Your family is known here, even though you do not know any of this. So they allowed you access without too much of an issue. The king then presented you all in, well, not the king, but you were presented here towards the king in a percussion and procession. Yeah, all right. I described this beforehand. Standing at the throne is a very sorrowful, stern-looking man, spear to the side, and a very coral look to him. To his right is his wife, very young-looking, definitely a few decades younger than him, but still has the regal look, very beautiful and human-like. Which, again, I don't know if Dan finds that attractive. But to the left and right of them, next to the guards, is a very young, fish-like humanoid woman. She has currently messing with jewels here and there, and that is likely the daughter that is, well, you can probably tell that this is the daughter that Dan is slated to be married to. But to the right of her, a few blocks down, is a very stern-looking, mean-mugging-looking, more humanoid and fish form, more than likely getting both of parents' descriptive features, but mixing in together. A very not-so-nice-looking merfolk. As you step forwards.
Okay. Hello. Hello.
As you simply state, hello. Dan, hold up for a second, because you are no way gonna get that close to the king without something happening. As you say hello, some of the guards do state, presenting Sir Dan, oh wait, sorry, reverse that. Presenting human of the Mandan estate. When you get, or attempt to try to get closer to the king, the guards do more or less pincer move around you. I don't know if Dan would understand this, but that basically means to halt.
Oh. Just they move closer to me, so I move closer to them.
All right. So long as you don't move forwards, they're fine with that.
Just get really close, yeah.
It's so touching. They're embracing Dan. The warm embrace of love.
Dan's just like 3 inches next to you.
I'm
Dan,
touched.
Remember,
Their faces.
I have a gift for the king if
My
things
tears.
start to go bad.
Yes.
The man you know as the king, or at least the one that looks the most like a king, stands up with the. He has the crown, so it's obviously the king. Looking towards you, he does state, "My subjects, I, as King Vera, honor and greet you on this day, where the one to be betrothed to the kingdom and rule next stands before you, found once more, lost as a child, but being brought to us by the seas and the goddess themselves."
Yeah, I walked.
You say that out loud, I'm assuming.
Yeah.
He like looks at you like one eyebrow raised. I'm not sure if Dan can make that up. But he does continue on his speech. "Now that this has been stated and told to us, that the Queen of the Sea has granted us a child once more, you, human Mandane, and my youngest daughter, Miss, sorry, I have way too many NPCs. Youngest kid, he has 3 girls. Okay. And my youngest daughter. I forgot to name her Molly. Sorry. Princess Molly will be wed in a week.
Oh,
Wow.
that's quick.
That's fast. What do we mean by this?
That escalated very quickly.
Like,
Wed.
I gave you fair notice as this was happening. Like, at a game, yeah. In-game also, that is pretty quick. But Varal does state, my youngest son, well, not technically his oldest son, my oldest son was going to be king, but now that the true heir to the throne has been found, righteous in birth and in virtue, we will move forwards, and the alliance will continue. And the crowd that was brought here begins to roar and cheer, and then he looks towards your companions and friends, or whatever Dan considers the group. But then he looks towards the rest of the crowd that was, brought here to basically make this announcement. Now go those that are not so close to the newly connected, and tell the clans, the lands, and the kingdom that a new age will begin. And once more, they begin to roariously cheer and begin to head out one after the other, telling the kingdom that there's going to be a wedding.
Huzzah!
Should we, Micah, tell them that there might not be a wedding because everyone's about to die? Or is that kind of a bummer thing to say?
No, I think we need to tell them that.
But we could just lie.
No, Dan, you can't get married. We have a plan. We
Why?
have to save the world.
Yes, but see, the problem with Molly is she is not very human, so she needs my name, at least half of it, to be more human than she is now. She needs at least 3 humans in her name.
So should be Princess Human Molly? Molly.
I'm going to change the name to Mary. For some reason, I don't like the name.
Princess.
How
Mary
dare you not like the
Human.
name Molly?
Mama.
The name of my cat, Princess Molly Mamalls.
I am fine with the name, but for some reason, it doesn't fit what I was trying to go for.
Mary. God.
It's Mary now?
Yeah.
Okay.
Princess Mary Human.
I'm going to say
Mary.
it's Mary Molly, and then Vora's last name, which doesn't matter here because she's going to take Dan's last name. If, the wedding
her last
happens.
name?
What if her
Is
name
it
is
human or man dad?
Barely? Then it could be.
Do I have 2 first
Princess
names
Mary
or
Human.
2 last names?
2 last names.
Yes.
I guess up to you,
Yeah.
Dan. Or at least up to you to consider what you have.
Well, then I will announce it. Dan's also unaware really what's happening. So, yes, I will rightfully marry the princess if we add a few more names to her name. And everyone in town has to wear or at least use an umbrella for the foreseeable future.
You
There
do
are
see when you
second
get that
calling
close,
out and snapping people. Oh, yes.
the left and right guard do have like pikes, making sure you don't get face to face with the king. Like you're still talking to him, but they're like basically body blocking you with those 2 spears.
I have dry eyes. I have to get close.
It is his father, too.
It is. So when they do that, King Vora, and yes, King Vora did name his son after himself. It's not just Vora 2, it's Vora the second, but I don't have a keyboard that
Really
gives
likes
me Roman numerals. So 2 it is. But King Vora does look towards you, Dan, and towards his 2 guards. He raises up his hands and the pikes are removed, and he does state, now is not the time for formality. Looking towards you, Dan, he puts his hand over your right shoulder. I understand that you do not know our ways, being lost with the riffraff that has found you. He looks over your shoulder and eyebrow raised towards your companions.
I think he was called us the riffraff.
I can see why you're so watered down.
Huh.
But do not fret. A few months in the kingdom, learning, growing, and adapting to your new life will set you straight.
How does the kingdom feel about humans?
So long as they serve the kingdom.
Huh.
And that's what he says.
Of course. Very nice.
Isn't
That's
that
all.
right?
Yes.
And then he looks towards his queen. Like, he basically cut you off and then looked towards his family members. Looks towards the queen. Queen Hava does state, not exactly, but I suppose I do welcome you back, Sir Dan. You can tell that she's not really happy by this union, or at least not the way this is working out. It's not to say like she hates Dan. It's more like, we have to deal with this situation at hand right now.
Nice.
You can roll insight to determine what that means. But then he looks towards his son, Vora, the one that was going to take the throne until you basically showed up out of nowhere. And then he does state, and what about you, my son? I suppose if this is what you prefer, Father, I can honor your wish. So long as this man is in our kingdom and you rule, I will listen to your word.
I respect being called man. Thank you.
Quite. Doesn't even ask his daughter what she wants. And she's honestly not listening or paying attention. She is just looking at her jewels, kind of like poking at them, putting them in the air, to like shining in the sun.
Yes. I would like to stand perfectly still and look at the jewel.
You do
Very
so.
close.
It's awkward. If the princess herself was not oh so awkward.
Oh.
But
Do I know these are my parents?
These are not your parents. This is the king and queen. You're a duke's son, which is basically pretty close to nobility. But these aren't your parents.
Gotcha.
And I'll just tell you their last name because it'll help out. This is the actual noble estate. They are the ones that rule the kingdom of Aquis, which is the kingdom that you reside currently in. Their last names are Emerald, which honestly doesn't matter right now. Because once you take the throne, it will be in your name. But these currently are more or less your... the princess is your soon-to-be wife. King Vora is, I guess, your father-in-law. Vora the second would be your brother-in-law, and the queen, mother-in-law. But you have yet to, go to your actual estate and talk with your mom and pop, older brother, and younger siblings.
Nice. Do you have another one of those shiny things?
Looking towards you, like, surprised you're even talking to her. She does go into a more frantic state, as if you've ever seen a fish just wandering about in their tank, and like when light goes in there, they go towards it. Opposite effect. When you say, "Do you have another one of those?" She puts it in like a jewel bag that she was holding, and like backs up from Dan as if she's about to be attacked by some piranha. And she goes, "No, these are mine."
Wow. They're very nice. Their reflection kind of got me. I don't know. I don't know. I can't. Oh, it's like a lure. Kind of drew me in.
She looks towards her father and mother. You can tell, well, everyone else can tell. Vora is like looking at her sternly, and the queen is more or less looking at her sympathetically. But nonetheless, she takes heed of her father, and she does like take out a small jewel that she was looking at. It's like a small little emerald worth 2 gold, and she hands it towards you.
Oh,
I guess you can have this.
wow. Thank you. My name is Human Man Dan. Or Dan Man Human, whichever one's more fitting. Who are you?
Becky. Oh,
Becky.
wait, shit. Sorry.
Princess Mary Emerald? I should probably change the last name too. I don't know why I went with Emerald. Oh, I think
I
it was
didn't
because of
know-
the color of most of their clothing and skin tone.
I didn't know fish people married emeralds.
How would she take that? And she politely chuckles, not sure if it was a joke or not.
Nice.
But you can tell
Our
that.
names are. Yes.
Go ahead, Dan.
I was gonna say both our names are very specific.
Okay. She's still like basically body blocked behind the knight behind her. Not getting that close to you, Dan. If you had to guess, doesn't deal with people a lot.
Oh, does she have human legs like me?
No. In fact, she has the same type of form and figure as a human, but she has like more face of a fish. She has fins aligned her arms and things like that. The only thing that is human, air quotes, is the way she's speaking. Her hands are more humanoid, and like, I'm gonna think Little Mermaid style, where the near the belly button area has no scales.
Gotcha. One sec. Well, it's been nice. Thank you for the emerald, and as payment, you can have these moss pants. I
Just
give
rip
her my
off your pants,
Yeah, they're moss pants.
so you're naked.
They weren't much of pants to begin with. They were made out of moss.
What
But
is
you legit
naked?
take off your pants?
I just figured they were. I figured I was wearing something under the pants.
Okay.
Long
Scales
underwear,
and
perhaps.
human skin.
Yeah, you have like some nice, well, not so nice because it's been coating in moss for quite some time. Some very awkward tighty-whities, I guess. Presenting her with pants. The king looks towards you, sighs heavily, but does state, "Oh, this will never do." He like snaps, and then two attendants come forwards. They begin to converse, and the two attendants come over towards you, Dan, and begin to take like measurements around you. And like 10 minutes later, come back and like give you a nice suit that is proper attire for the current place that you're in, as well as eventually your birthright / title that you have been given. Vora does state, "Now then, I am sure you want to speak with your mother and father and your siblings.
Oh yes.
You
Fish
have
mom,
plenty
fish
of
mom.
time to get to know your spouse once you're married. So come back in a week. Make sure you don't leave, and we will get this done as soon as possible."
Yes. Who? Yes. I'll go meet Fish Pond, Fish Mom.
Hmm,
And then I'll
right.
be back in a week.
But I'm sure you're not here just simply to wed. So what brings you in front of me today?
King, I would like to talk to you for a moment. May I speak freely?
He
This
nods.
half dead human, I'd like him to speak freely.
That actually works. He does nod, and when Dan says that, Vora does say, "Very good," making sure that you know who is lesser to you. He says that towards Dan when Dan says, "This is like a human guy, and I want him to speak."
King, first, I present you with this gift from all of us. And I present the gift to the king.
You present him, and
Go,
very- go ahead, Mega.
you go.
You present him a nice little necklace. It is very gaudy looking, but it is expensive looking. And it is expensive. Jewels outline and inlay in the area. And I've made a description beforehand, but Dan wasn't here, so I'm going to make it again. If you've ever seen those gaudy chokers for dogs, like that those type of rhinestones in a necklace. Micah, you present it to Vora, and knowing the circumstance, looking at this, he does know that this is for Princess Mary. Nods in his approval because 1, it's expensive, 2, it looks expensive, and 3, you know how things in decorum are done. So he's in a very positive mood right now. I don't know if he will change that, but we'll see. He does give it to the queen, and the queen puts it to the side. Vora then states, please continue.
Yes. We have come on a mission to notify all the kingdoms that evil has been released into the world. And that everybody should be prepared. And we're asking for help and alliances.
And who is asking for an alliance? Just your group? Your melancholy group of various strangers? Or an actual force behind you?
I'm not a stranger. I'm a citizen in your...
I think we're pretty happy and peppy.
What? I'm not. I'm pretty melancholy.
You're melancholy?
Yeah, that
Oh,
means
you
to
wanna
be
talk
strong.
me about it? No, that means sad.
Oh, I'm sad strong. Wait, I am not a stranger. I am Becky Farts. I am the owner of the store in town. Farts Extravaganza.
Becky, roll deception. I've already told you, but your brother works with the king from time to time. He doesn't like the king, but he works with the king, so he knows who owns the store.
Well, I am related to the owner of the store.
Okay,
Pretty
that'll
much real.
It's true. We do come with some people from your area. Dan, Becky, and we also have representatives of Sola and Adam who can help discuss the matter.
At that point, Becky, you wouldn't be lying. But I'm going to accept that roll because it was pretty high. He does nod in the affirmative, and Becky hasn't ruined anything. In fact, when he does hear that Becky does come from the, a very high valued merchantry family, he does nod with approval. And when Micah does state we come also with Sola and Adam does state that is quite correct. I do come from Dust itself, and the council there currently is investigating this, and it would be prudent of you to help along in an advanced state. Right now, nothing is happening, but in the coming weeks and potentially coming days, if we're not lucky, things will be coming undone. Powers will be shifting, and everything that we know will be changing. So we do honestly urge you to listen to this man, Sir Micah, and his cohorts. After all, they do come bearing the future king and all. And Sala does state, the wildlife and the environment itself is changing as well. So if you don't listen, you'll likely not be able to inhabit the place that will be, I am assuming, being terraformed. That is not something I like as a person of nature. And, well, a guardian of nature. I don't care about your cities, but you care about them. I suggest you protect them.
As you can see, there's many elements in our situation. So even as you look forward to the wedding that could happen in a week, it may not happen based on what is happening around you.
When you say that, he does take note of it, and before he speaks, I was going to say Vora, but Vora the second. Someone give me a good nickname for Vora the second, because that's going to get annoying.
Me too.
Junior, Vora Junior. The second.
Voorhees, the Vorster, the V-Dog,
V-Dog.
Okay.
Porgy.
He's sketty. He's made of spaghetti.
I like Borgie.
Borgerino.
Okay, when I meant nickname, I meant something not like buddy.
V2.
I'll go with
Later,
V2.
Peascary.
The
Version 2?
Avenger. The Avenger.
Version 2.
Vera.
Water Slayer.
I'm gonna go with V2.
Ugly,
Fish
ugly
dude.
dude.
Okay, I'm gonna go
Slayer
with
of
V2.
human.
Oogly boogly.
Oogly
Blue
boogly.
nipples.
Moves forwards and he does state towards his father and towards your team. V2 then states, I am sure they have credibility behind them, but I highly doubt the world will be destroyed within a day or two. I'm sure we can listen to them after the wedding. There's more than willing enough time, and as they stated it themselves, the world hasn't been destroyed yet. I'm sure we can spare a day or two without doing anything. And then after the ceremony is complete, we can easily deal with the matter at hand, wouldn't you say, Father? After all, our kingdom comes first before any other.
True.
But why wait till later when we can take care of things now?
Like the wedding.
Not the wedding.
Ah,
We are in the process of still investigating and searching for items to help make a key to eliminate this evil. And Dan's assistance is vitally important to our role as a group. He's able to help us in situations that he has some abilities that we don't have.
He helps us out of some fishy situations.
Yes.
Unacceptable.
And he's our friend.
The most human friend I have.
Wow. Thank you.
Vora does state, I understand that you believe him to be your friend. And while you did help us in retrieving him and acquiring this gift for my daughter, you should not be so inclined to be considered friends and allies of the new future king. It is far too great of a title for all of you. But I understand where you're coming from. I too married into a lesser breed family, thinking that it would produce the future heir, not knowing that it would be born into a different estate. But it doesn't matter now. If the future king decides to go gallivanting, I am sure my daughter is more than able to hold down the throne while he, what's the term you used? He looks towards his wife. Sows his seed, right, everywhere,
Yes.
having his
Ew.
fun. Who am I to stop the new ruler? I did it when I was young.
I kind of hate him. Oh my gosh.
Yeah, you can tell that when the queen said that, it was spiteful. But the king did not put two and two together. But King Vora does state, we can discuss this in a week. If you do believe that this is so prudent, I suppose in 2 days we can get the new lovebirds married.
Well,
Yes.
And then we
Dan-
can talk
Marry, Mad Dad.
politics.
Dan, would you like to come with us and discuss what our options are and our plans for the future? And then you can
For
come
the
back
week.
and you can spend some time with Princess Mary to get to know her. But
Thank
as your friends, we sure would like to spend a little time with you before you get busy.
Okay. Okay. Hello. I'm spending time with you.
You can think it over, I suppose. I'll give you the day. After all, you still need to visit your own estate. And I do need to get everything ready. If you do plan to wed in 2 days, in the morrow, then I can get those things prepared. And then we can surprise the kingdom in a few days afterwards with the new heir and ruler. And then you can go along your way. Looks towards your team, not towards Dan. With potentially something to help you. And a willing ear to listen to your cries and pleas. Clearly not a nice man, but he is giving you time. Do you take it?
Yes. I shall see myself out. Excuse me. Where is this? Is this a window?
There are no
This is
windows
the
here,
door.
surprisingly.
I will go this way. Never mind. We'll wait and follow the group as they leave.
I would like to approach the king for friendly banter, if he would allow me.
You may approach. When you get there, basically the guards look at you the way they did with Dan, but since Dan currently is the new current going to be ruler, they didn't forcibly stop him, but you can tell they're going to forcibly stop you if you take another step forwards.
Your Highness, I get the impression that you are fond of games, and I would like to present with you a bet. A bet on who is better, humans or merfolk.
Oh, I already know that, dear. There's no need to bet, as it's clear.
I would like to tell you, as a human, that I believe I could beat your strongest merfolk in a underwater breathing contest.
And how much
You
are
might
you
be
willing to
thinking-
wager?
Ooh, I am willing to wager 100 gold. And you might be thinking, oh, but humans just have fleshy, gooey, mucousy lungs. That might be true, but I have very strong lungs and have been practicing holding my breath since I was the age of 2 on the streets. Although I'm rich, I grew up on the streets.
Quite. He looks towards his son, V2, and he does state, demonstrate towards her if you would, and see how much better we are. Then the knights to the right and left of you, Becky, do move to the side, giving V2 a chance to basically go in between this area. Looking towards you, he does
I bow.
state... You bow. He bows in turn. I'm surprised Becky bowed. But V2 does look towards you, and he does state, 100 gold, so I suppose we can do with 100 gold more. Are you ready?
I am.
All right, then. He begins to chant something, and then water begins to materialize around you. It begins to form into a cube and begins to go up into the air. Basically, you're now surrounded by water.
I act like I'm holding my breath.
Mhm.
But I'm actually breathing with my nose.
Yes. V2 is also covered. Oops. Wrong token. Becky, how long do you plan on staying underwater?
We wait.
Well, depending on the type of merfolk, they can also breathe underwater.
Yep.
You're gonna be there for a while.
Well, it's a game.
Game of attrition, honestly. Becky, go ahead and roll. Because you yourself can breathe underwater, but your body isn't adjusted for that kind of climate. So
True, I'm
things
gonna get
can,
real pruny.
yeah, things will potentially start to cramp. The water itself will cause you to prune up, and the stuff around you, like quite literally the stuff you're holding. I'm gonna say, like, Becky, you put your bags and stuff away to the side, so they're not covered in water. But your armor, again, not meant for this kind of condition. So it is like soaking up more water and causing it to be heavier. So Becky, go ahead and roll. Like, breathing is fine. Getting out of it after holding it for so long is a problem. Go ahead and roll a Constitution save. It's pretty good. As you begin to hold your breath for quite a long time, an hour passes and Vera is just like looking at you, surprised, stern looking, so it's kind of hard to tell if he's impressed or not. But V2 does look at you. Oh, so surprised. But in a more doubtful look towards you. He himself does do underwater combat, goes up to the surface and fights himself. So this should have been a cakewalk. But honestly, no one is giving headway or like stopping.
I try to intimidate him with my eyes.
Okay. Go ahead and roll intimidation. Oh, nice. And you rolled a 3 with modifiers. Not that great.
Jesus.
I just noticed what you posted in Discord.
Oh God.
Becky, as you begin to more or less, you don't really intimidate him with your eyes. You're more like, if you've ever seen it, like open your eyes so much that they begin to bulge out, kind of like a fish, and then like you take a step forwards, and he doesn't like give way. He doesn't, not able to breathe, but he does accidentally step out, not really sure what you were gonna do. And then like the water collapses, goes into the ground. You ultimately won that.
And I dab. Victory for humans as I dab. And I say, that was a good battle of holding our breaths, because I hold my breath and don't have water breathing. So, I would like my gold,
Make
as
you
I
roll
have
deception.
proved to you. Oh shit.
I mean, you didn't have to lie, but you did lie. That's a one.
Oh no.
Vora and V2 were looking at you intensely. Vora does look towards you, and he saw you like not holding your breath, like you were more or less. If you ever had to wait for anything, and sometimes like you do random mouth sounds, like you make popping sounds with your mouth, that kind of can't happen unless you were able to breathe. So you were kind of doing that underwater while you were underwater. So he knows you're straight up lying. Vora himself also knows that you're lying, but not in the same sense that the king does. V2 knows that you're lying because of the way you were acting and reacting to things. Although he is noble, he's also kind of pompous, so he's not going to call it out. Well, more arrogant than anything else. But the king
Same
does
here.
look towards you. Well played. I see we have a con artist here. The deal's
I
a
would-
deal. Well, I do not consider you better than merfolk. I suppose you're better than my son. It's no wonder he wasn't chosen to be the next king. And how
How's that?
Dan materialized out of nowhere. Clearly, he's not worth the time and effort.
I can materialize.
Ouch.
Wow.
No, Papa. Oh, wait, sorry. That was me projecting.
V2 does give you the money you bet down, and he does give you, out of his own
Thank you.
coffers, an additional 100 gold.
Oh, nice.
He goes back, looking down while he moves back to his side. You can tell that the king is kind of rude. I was gonna use sterner words,
Yeah.
but I didn't want to do.
He's kind of an ass.
But I mean, V2 is also not the greatest person in the world. But you know,
Did someone say he's
Upbringing.
kind of a bast?
Oh,
You can't say he's a bast.
don't. I did not say that. I said ass, not ass. I would never.
I am learning a lot on how to be a good person. I've learned a lot here. Let's go see my parents.
Wait. Dan, didn't your parents die and I tried to resurrect them?
Fishpaw and Fishmaw?
Ray roll
was
deception?
my
You
family.
know that's not true.
Oh, I'm not trying to deceive them. I'm trying to mess with them.
I understand that. You quite literally said this in front of the king, the queen, and all these people.
Yeah, it did.
And
Well, you
if
can't roll a natural one.
You say that because I
Oh.
roll natural 20s.
wow,
I know, right?
surprising.
Okay.
You want to note that the second roll is more prone to what I normally am.
Stealing Nara's rolls, I see.
Yeah,
Uh,
he granted them to me.
fair enough. Come back soon. And as you begin to basically state, oh, didn't your mom and dad die? Oh, and I tried to revive them, but didn't work. You can see that a whole bunch of the knights are like worried because, you know, the death of a duke and his wife is concerning. But the king himself takes it in stride. He doesn't believe you, but that's not to say he doesn't understand what you're trying to do. You're trying to be jovial. You're trying to be some familiar form to the future ruler. And he understands that some people tend to do this to get on their good side, to get a position of power and things like that. So he's honestly impressed of Ray working the political matter. I mean, it's still scummy, but the king respects that, which is also saying a lot.
Yeah.
Uh,
I like to say my family is a lot like me. I have died 4 times and I have yet to die. It's the same with them.
in the corner of your eye, you
Besides
do
Grandma.
see some skull-like apparition, like 3 inches from your face.
When Human
I
Mandan
stare
says
over to my
that,
right.
when Human
It disappears.
Mandan says that, I bow, and I'm like, yes, I am a fantastic necromancer.
Ray, roll deception.
Am I deceiving?
I mean, you're just
Ray
starting out. I
does
wouldn't say you're
think that.
fantastic. I'm saying you're
Get rid of those rolls.
talented.
Lucky.
Can I use persuasion? Because I don't think that Ray's
Yeah.
lying in Ray's mind.
That makes sense. I'm starting to think
Thank you,
Nara
Nara.
did give you the rolls.
Thank you, Nara.
The rolls.
But
Sending a picture to Laura.
not in agreeing to all this. The king may or may not believe you, but he does see that you do and are presenting yourself as someone of value. Of again, if he wasn't so scummy, this would not be a good thing. But to him, it's a good thing. It's basically like, I mean, you know I'm this great, so remember that when you're in a position of power. Wink, wink, nudge, nudge. And the king's taking it this way. The queen is more or less horrified because she just learned, or currently assumes, that the duke is dead. And there's now someone with necromantic powers in the area. While it's not illegal, it is frowned upon. But you begin to take your leave. No one talking politics because you're taking the time to go meet the family of one human man, Dan.
Wow.
Papa.
No, these are guards.
Hello.
As you
This is
approach
a
the
lot
estate,
less watery than I remember.
you're on land. I'm gonna say the guard says that. There's a lot more water, less watery than I remember. Excuse me, sir. We're kind of on land right now. If you want to go to a more watery place, there is the harbor port area, if that's what you're looking for.
Oh, no. I wetted up before coming here. I am slick.
Very well then. How can we be of assistance to you?
Oh, I would like to see Fishpaw and Fishpaw. I was told they live here.
I'm afraid we don't have people with those names here, sir. Do
Hmm.
you perhaps mean the Duke? And his wife?
Yes. I think.
Very well then, one moment, sir. You do see that he begins to trudge along, heading towards the actual estate. When he comes back, he does say, to who? Oh wait, he says it before he leaves. And who, may I tell them is trying to communicate with them?
It's the one, he's like, he's got he's like human on the bottom and, still human on top, slightly less human, and he fell off his water wheelchair, Some
I mean
people
a
call it
name, sir.
boat. Oh. It's Dad. Or it's Human Man Dad. Dad. Man.
Human man, Dan.
Human Man Dad. Man. Human Man Dad. Man. Yes. We'll go with that one. Middle name's Dan.
Very well. One moment. He leaves, comes back, and he does state, at the present moment in time, they are speaking with their eldest son right now, but if you give him a few moments, they will be arriving shortly.
Oh, I know that guy.
I do too,
You say?
I think.
May I go in?
You may not, until given orders to. We are to make sure no one enters inside without permission.
If the king had shown up and then he wasn't allowed inside, what would happen next?
I suppose it all depends on how loyal people are to the crown or their employer, I suppose.
How loyal are they to the crown?
I'm not sure who you mean by how loyal are them to the crown. They, sorry.
People like you, like
Listen
everybody around here.
Listen here, Tin Buckets. This here is the most royal fish person in all of every land. Every single land. Also, this fish person has also lived in the Feywild and is royalty there, kind of. So please, you better let us in now to see Papa and Mama fish person, or I will... Look, y'all are probably paid not too well, and I bet you don't want to be smooshed. Meaning, I'll smoosh you. I'll kill you if you don't let us in.
Becky, go ahead and roll persuasion. They don't know who currently Dan is. Unfortunately, Connor, which is Dan's older brother, that's pretty low, has not, said, hey, the new king is to arrive yet. And people just left to tell people, so it hasn't caught up everywhere just yet. And 10's not that great.
Well, but Becky is yelling at them. I'd like to pull out the spear that I made from the sword that Connor gave me.
Oh, yeah, that would... Oh, I don't know if that'd be a good idea now that I think about it.
Oh. I pull it out anyways.
Yeah.
Yeah,
You
while I'm threatening them.
pull out an honorary sword of that house and the state that you have desecrated by sticking it to it, a long pole, and duct taping the end of it.
I paid to have it forged on there.
Oh,
Oh,
yeah, I
gosh.
think you did.
Fine stick.
Yeah.
Okay. It'd be funny if that was how the
It is
forged it.
definitely welded onto the tip.
It recast into a new spear. I mean, it's still a little weird because you did desecrate this blade. Connor was fine with it because, younger brother would do younger things, and obviously he doesn't understand where you're coming from. So he's more than willing to, look the other way. When it comes to loyalty to this family, they are heavily upset by this, but don't act on it as they don't currently know the circumstance. And you do have his blade, and Connor is still alive. So he has no idea what's going on. But you can tell, they are shaking, not with fear, but with, anticipation to, ooh, let me kill this guy.
Wow. Well, Connor dropped his sword and it turned into this, and I need help.
Hmm. Just wait a moment, sir. After a moment, about 10 minutes or so, four people walk out. Two individuals look a little bit older than everyone else. If you had to guess, the one in the middle is Papa. The one to the right is Mama with a very big broadsword. She herself isn't that tall, but she is a lot bulkier and sterner than anyone else, except for the Papa, of course. To the south, you're not sure who that is. But to the left of the Duke is Connor, who you do know who it is. But soon enough, they do come
Hi.
forward.
Yes. Hello.
Connor then looking towards his father, acting more regal than beforehand when he was super charming. He does look towards your dad.
I stop intimidating.
You stop mean mugging. And Connor does stay towards his father. Father, this is the individual who I was speaking about. It does seem that our family has grown one stronger, as my younger brother has been found. And looking towards you, a very stern-looking merfolk, nor does state. I see you managed to survive all this time, son. Now tell me,
Oh,
what brings you here today?
I honestly don't remember. But I think I am marrying somebody who I didn't think I'd be very fond of because they don't look very human at all. But I think I've turned over a new leaf and I've learned a lot about myself on the top half instead of the bottom half. And I think I kind of like her. I stole this gem from her. And I'm thinking about maybe buying her 200 more gems. And I just thought what you might think about that. That is all.
Zyle, your mom, does state, "Oh, come now, honey. I'm sure he means well. After all, he did just found out he comes for money. I can understand him being a little bit more than willing to spend, especially for his new future wife. Why not invite him in, see what he has to say for all this time being lost? And more than welcome to allowing my youngest, third youngest, he had a couple kids after you were gone, and embrace them back into my arms. You do realize that now this is your sister after, Zyle does state, isn't that right, sweetheart? Second youngest, she does look towards you, and she does state, I have no real connection towards this. Wasn't even born when he disappeared.
Yes.
I don't care. Zyle then states,
Okay.
come now, Heather. He's your older brother. Yeah. Born to be great. While, my actual older brother here led a life that was better, was going to take the family name and be our actual, ruler. And then this guy showed up. And now we're suddenly supposed to be grateful for that just because he was born looking like this.
I would also like to add that Dan was also born with extreme empathy to all other creatures, especially those that are a little more human.
Yes.
That's called nurture over nature. You're not born that way. You learn it.
Well, I would
Because
like
of-
to point out, I did fall on my head, and it's why the left side is slightly more slanted than the other side.
Is that why you keep
Besides
saying
that,
you're
everything
evil?
is normal.
If you can transform into animals, can't you fix that by transforming back into your normal self?
I'm
Contemplations.
I just stare. I have no expression. I just kind of look like my
Did the
picture.
eye hit first?
Heather does state, I'm sure my older brother means well, but I don't care about any of that. I'm just not a fan of, inherited birthright just because you were born a special way.
That's true.
Ooh.
Well, let me present all that I've accomplished. I have blown up a full family of sentient fish. I have freed slaves and caused worse situations for more slaves. I have been present on the birth of a primordial being, and now I am heir to the throne of this place, which should go pretty well, especially since I've become more fond of fish folk and less fond of humans after I've learned from, other fish paw how
Other fish
to
paw.
act properly.
Inspirational.
Also, you keep saying you're
Yes.
evil. I don't know if that's part of that.
Oh, yeah, that's right.
No, Ray, I think that's you.
No, Dan has literally said that he is evil multiple times.
I have
think you're
not become
projecting.
evil yet.
Oh. okay,
Dan's
then
not
Dan's
evil.
good.
I have also died 4 times, been risen, resurrected. I can walk on water,
You're welcome.
and yeah,
My God.
I think that's it.
Oh my god.
You also beat the
Divinity.
crap out of Connor's team when they competed against him.
Allegedly.
Connor's teammate. I think Tempest beat Connor. In a weird way. That
Yeah,
still
I
was never
did.
explained.
I don't remember.
And
Me, the player. I don't remember.
basically, you were doing some type of action. You didn't roll that well, but somehow you won. In the same circumstance, Ray didn't actually do anything when Connor went in for more or less the air quotes killing blow. Everyone was
exploded.
tossed out, and you guys won. Both of those things still not explained.
Yeah, just ignore it. It'll be fine.
Pretty
Right.
much.
Yeah.
Yes. Anywho, I have arrived. I don't necessarily know what I'm doing, and I need direction.
I suppose you do, son. It has been some time, and while I am not a fan of you just simply coming back and willfully spending so much money, I suppose as the
I have-
current ruler, future ruler, that is something we should discuss.
Have I spent I do look at my group. Have I spent money?
I was just about to say, no, Dan, I have never actually
No.
spent any money.
Dan's
Very
been broke.
frugal.
At the same time,
You didn't
you've
have
never
pockets.
Wasn't
had
our group
money.
spending my money?
Wait, you've never had money. Where did your money go?
Well, he had holes in his pockets, so he could never save anything.
Oh yeah.
Moss pants.
Yes.
Actually, now he has a suit. A very nice, expensive suit. I don't know if he's going to pawn that. Probably will.
Probably
But-
some pants.
Nor does. If you had to guess, he was stating when Dan said, and I also plan on giving her like 1,000
Oh.
jewels. That's what he was saying.
I did.
Like, hey, mom and dad, I'm back. Oh, so I'm going to spend a lot of your money?
For this lady. Yes. Her name is too fitting.
You can tell your father
If she
is
could
very
marry-
stern.
Marry Mandan.
You can tell that Duke Nor, or your father, is very stern man. He prefers accomplishments over anything else. But since you were born to be hereditarily the king, he went with it. Zawa is your mom. She's a very strong, powerful warrior. Luckily, Connor took after her after being trained. And she's more than willing to take you back because, you're her kid. Heather does not like you. She doesn't like the fact that you were born to be great. She doesn't believe in that. Your accomplishments, what you do in life, how you are as a person is what she cares about. And you basically usurping your older brother, who she believes is a better candidate, maybe not to be king, but definitely to be the matriarchal leader of your home, definitely better in her eyes. Does not care for you. And since she's never met you when you were a kid, has no strong attachments towards you. Connor, more or less being the one that was supposed to take care of you until you yourself went overboard and then got lost, has the strongest attachment towards you. You do have other siblings, but they're currently in school and doing other things. And so these are the current people at home. And these are the feelings you understand. These are the feelings the group understands. I don't know if Dan does.
I would like to state I am not entirely sure what any of that means. Dan does not know.
That's fair.
He kind of gets marriage and he kind of gets the family, but he doesn't understand the concept of being in charge of the family and or king.
Dan, before you head off,
But he likes acting. Kid.
your
Yes.
sister seems
Very
unaccepting
nice.
of you. Oh, okay. Well,
It's because her
anyways,
skin's too blue.
what if you described your accomplishments? Like we conquered dust in less than a week. You can spin it that way.
Yeah, you don't need to you conquered dust. You were jailed, saving other fish
Fish.
individuals
With Dan.
who were being tortured and
Eaten.
subjugated by the city of whatever its name is. And you
The
could also
original
say
city.
yes, Statue City. And you
Statue.
could also say
took the
things
statue.
like
I
you
blinded a girl
have-
by spitting in her eyes.
you could say you united orcs and humans. Or goblins and humans. Freed people from slavery.
Oh.
You've won in the Colosseum.
I did. I killed myself.
You have-
I was the only one who killed someone that day,
You've conquered death.
besides my family.
Oh, yeah, you killed multiple. You got multiple people killed that day. That's
Yes,
correct.
and killed one person.
Yourself doesn't count.
While you're
You know what?
discussing
Just go
this
with
in real
could
time,
Challenge Zyle.
Nor does look behind him, and since you're not actually following him, he does state, if you really must speak with your companions, bring them inside. And the guards do step forwards and out to allow you access inside. I'm sure more than one viewpoint of the world and my son's accomplishments would be beneficial.
Yeah, get out.
Well, one is allegedly a vampire, so they needed to be invited in.
You can
Ooh,
eventually meet
Micah,
him.
is that how that works?
Yes, it does.
That's a weird. What if the
Whoa.
house doesn't have a door? Can you still?
Still, to cross the threshold, I must be invited.
What if it's like an outdoor shed
Oh.
that can, like
It
no
has
walls?
a threshold, like a doorway.
Yeah, but
Got
what
lost.
if it doesn't? Like just like an open.
Whoa.
Is Tempest coming with us?
Yeah, Tempest is
Oh.
on the way.
Sorry. I'm definitely paying attention.
Everyone's moving so quick.
Tempest, since you're this one that has the most, I don't know.
With
Some-
everyone moving
Must.
so quickly,
Something.
Ray gets lost like up here and
Sorry,
like
I have
goes
the most
the
what?
wrong
I'm
way.
having the weirdest sounds in my ear.
Ah, I found you.
Hello.
Hello.
Oh,
I
what?
shall take
Hello.
the head of the table.
Wait, Tempest, we need to speak. Adam, you're welcome to join us. Obviously, you.
Honestly, you two seem the most willing to hear your elected conscious.
Yes, no, in fact, I would like you here because you're right. We
Ah.
haven't been paying too much attention.
No, and I have some serious concerns about what is going on here. I think we are being rambuscalooed,
Bamboozle.
bamboozled.
I think we're being bamboozled.
I do.
By whom?
Everybody. Do you not hear everybody is saying one thing and they are thinking other things?
I actually do
I've
agree
kind
with.
of mentally checked out because this whole place kind of gives me the heebie-jeebies.
Dan is in trouble.
That's racist.
Yeah.
Dan is in serious trouble. Connor doesn't like him. I have a feeling Connor's the one that probably set him up to be killed. His father doesn't want him to be the king. I think he wants Connor to be the king. I think that the king really wants V2 to be king, and they're setting him up. Nothing is good about this, and nobody's paying any attention.
Micah, I
If they
agree
won't
to
kill him.
most of that, except for the other way around. I do believe that the king himself does want, due to as Heather had mentioned, born to be king, that situation. But I do believe that something else is afoot. Connor does seem to be acting, I'm assuming, differently. But if I had to guess, it's because of his father is looking at him while things are going on. I highly doubt someone brought up to be raised in a noble family can act freely. Heather clearly doesn't like Dan, so more than likely willing to see him fail. His mom seems nice. But V2 himself, the way he worded things, I do believe, Micah, you were on to something on that part.
He said, as long as I will listen to my father, the king, as long as you are in this city, realm, and as long as he
on
is in
the throne.
charge.
Yeah, he'll listen to him. You're totally right. So what do we do about it?
I don't know. I mean, Dan has, problem with this frontal lobe. I don't think he thinks very well. And Becky's pretty invested in just making money, and I'm not sure if she really cares about Dan. And we know Ray hates Dan.
That
Well,
we can all agree on.
Why don't we ask Dan? And if he doesn't want to be here, or if he thinks that people, okay, no. So if people are trying to kill Dan or take him out of this whole equation, maybe we come up with a ruse that Dan is not actually who he says he is. He's just some vagrant off the street. He was just pretending.
That would only be if Dan really didn't want his birthright.
Exactly, yes. But if he really wants it, then we protect him and we make sure that he gets it.
From what I can tell, Dan just wants to see what marriage is.
Yeah, I can't speak for that. I don't know what's going on there.
Not sure.
Out
Not
of
married
game,
myself.
yes. This could be easily solved by someone just explaining to Dan what marriage was.
Again,
Ooh,
I think we just need to have a long and honest conversation with Dan and see what it is he wants. And if he wants to stay, we help him stay. And if he doesn't care, then we abscond with him.
okay.
Mm.
We also need Dan to get the mask of Thaw.
Mask. Right. Remind me who has that again?
Becky's mom.
Becky's mom. But the king can get him to give it to us. Or if Dan was king.
The spear of
King
life.
could give
The king can request. The mask you have to ask for.
Wait, do we know where Becky's mom is? She left, didn't she?
Her brother does.
Her brother knows where?
Mhm.
Okay. So, is that something? Is that okay? Do you think we can just
Yes.
kind of feel it out and see what we should do?
Yes.
I don't
think
want
that's
to take
great.
Dan away if he actually wants to be here, and I don't want to let him die just
I
because
don't
someone
either.
else wants to kill him.
I agree. Okay. Good plan.
Also, this whole royal family and that duke, they are all just assholes. Assholes. Every
Totally.
single one of them. I kind of mentally checked out because I was getting really angry for a while there.
I agree. They are on the high horse.
I honestly agree with all that. I do believe Dan's father is just very strict and very stern. He does believe in the whole hierarchy, noble birth thing, but he clearly doesn't like Dan based off of having no real connection to him.
True. Okay. Well, we'll try to get him to know Dan better, which will help Dan make a decision.
At the very least, perhaps not hate him.
True. Because we all need our dad.
I don't have a father.
We all need a dad.
I mean, I have two moms.
I
I'm
never
fine with
really
two
had a
moms.
dad. Yeah, no. I never really had a dad.
Micah continues to say, "We all need our fathers." Tempest. I've never really had a.
I don't really know.
Yeah, I've never really had a dad. Adam. I have two mothers. I'm perfectly fine. We all need our fathers.
That's so 666 years ago of
I know,
you.
that's so antiquated.
Who is
Oh my god.
Micah's
There's more humans
father?
here.
Fight
Hello.
father or birth father?
Ray's still lost.
As everyone steps inside, Adam looking around. Has anyone seen Ray? Speaking of which, Ray, you enter inside of a very large book room with a desk here and there, papers strewn about on the desk itself, a nice comfy chair, a window to the south, north, south, east, west area.
I'm looking through both windows, like out the window, to see if people like went into the courtyard.
You look out the window and you do see like a nice flower bed like strewn about, and it does have a lot of herbs and things like that that you could probably potentially use for medicine, but it also looks super pretty and very colorful. Each one does like no two flowers are next to each other, which is not something you should do. It's like patterned out in a position that it looks very pretty, but it is not the best way to take care of plants.
Ray relaxes in the chair for a second.
I swear, I am moving as fast as I can. It's just as if they're teleporting around. Take a break here for a second. I'll go look for them.
I look at glance at the desk and what's on it because while I'm just resting.
As you look at the desk and glance on it, you do see a nice ledger book with a whole bunch of it's an accounting book. From what you can tell, it does have like some small variable. Actually, would Ray be good with accounting?
Ray's educated.
What I
has
said.
higher education, so I feel like she'd be decent.
Okay. You understand that these are ledger books dealing with trade, transport, and things going out of the city and to the city. You can also tell that there's a few names in the ledger book stating that there are a few family members or key featured people in the actual kingdom that they have connections and ties with. The Duke Nor has been working with the royal family itself. Becky's family, the Foughts. I believe that's how I phrased it last time. And Ray said, excuse me, the what? Multiple times.
What?
No problem, Micah.
I think Ray would just be bored and would just be looking for like mistakes.
Okay.
Because
You
Ray's nature of like wanting to fix things would probably look for like errors.
You do fan out like a whole bunch of pages like, oh, no, there's gotta be a problem with this book. This is Dan's family we're talking about.
Yeah, does not
Fanning
trust
through.
the-
You do see like a whole bunch of studious, very extreme detailed work. Page after page, you get more and more flabbergasted that someone is so good with ledger books, information, deduction, addition, until you hit one page where there's a massive amount of cash being poured into a import, and there's really like no name into the import. This is a very big problem, especially if you can't, if you don't know what you're purchasing, or if someone that's looking at it doesn't know what you're purchasing, that could be a very big problem, especially if you borrowed money, or if, you need something done. So Nor or someone in his family bought something big and imported it without any actual information into it. And there's only really two ways of doing that. One is going through a black market dealer, and the second one is a lot of bribery.
Ray will just like on a separate piece of paper like write down like, hey, you guys need to clarify this in case someone audits you, and then we'll just move on.
All right.
Ray will just be going door to door. So
Hello?
Inside, you do see a music room with a whole bunch of books. On this shelf, you believe maybe are music books. You do see a harp, a piano, a violin, a few
sense
flutes
danger.
here and there.
Becky
time to redeem
senses
myself.
danger.
I did good with the piano, but not with the strings. This is the time.
Well,
It's decent. You do play a nice melody here and there. You do it's not really your thing, and since you're playing in armor, you don't really know how much force you're putting behind each string. But you are able to play a nice little song, and Nor does state, I don't believe we have the harpist today. Heather, do you mind checking that out? We are still waiting for one of your companions. Looks towards Dan. Heather does state, very well, father, and begins to head out. Eventually finds Ray.
As okay, so as she enters, oh, yep, that's about right. Ray gets scared while holding the harp.
Okay. As she enters
Oh.
inside, you weren't expecting, someone to pop in, even though you're playing music. And when she pops in, you were ready to pluck a string, and when she abruptly entered inside, by abruptly I mean the door was squeaky, you basically rang your hand through the strings, breaking just about 4 out of 6 strings, just to go towards your side, ready to maybe attack this woman or person, man, whoever's entering inside, until you see it's Dan's sister.
Oh, you almost gave me a heart attack there.
Hmm.
Is this expensive?
Very.
Hey, well, good. You may not know of me, I'm Ray. I've even been acknowledged by the king himself about how good I am at like necromancy and mending things. So don't worry, I got this.
I will use mending on it.
You begin to mend it. It looks not perfectly fine, but it does. You gotta run. So you can tell that they will eventually need to be replaced, but they are currently holding and will hold for a very long time. As long as no one continuously plays them day after day. And technically, you don't know this. They don't always play it. But Heather does state, right. Getting acknowledged by the king. Not a good thing.
Yeah. Did you did they tell you yet? I was okay. Yeah, it's kind of yeah.
It's just like awkwardly like getting caught doing something weird, just like stumbling over her words.
Did they tell you about how we conquered dust in less than a week or anything? Are we on good footing?
Looks at you like deadpan, dead eyes, staring at you until you basically leave. Follows you into the hallway.
Hey, person.
I will stop here because I still don't know where I'm going.
Yeah.
I don't. I'm not good with direction.
Well, this is clear to me. Next time, follow the group.
You guys practically ran.
And you were born in the land. There's really no excuse.
I have armor. It's heavy. And
And don't wear it?
My eyes wander, and I like viewing things. Like the garden outside. It's really pretty. Although I don't recommend having the flowers so spread out.
When you say that, she looks towards you and goes, look, I understand your eyes wander and beautiful garden. No offense. Not into this. I'm into women, sir. Not really feeling it.
With confidence from the king.
Well, I mean, that's not a bad thing.
Roll persuasion? And
here it is.
Also,
one of these times,
this could be taken in a very, very bad way.
I know.
Because you said,
I'm
because
on
she
that
said,
one.
I'm going to stop myself before you roll.
Let's go nat 1. Yeah, here we
Yeah.
go.
Not a
There
nat
it
1, but
is.
it's pretty low.
There it is.
So,
Yeah.
she didn't consider it a bad thing or a good thing. It's more like, this is who she is. This is what she likes. And Ray's like taking the armor. It's like, it's not a bad thing you like women. This is straight up, you're saying, it's like a bad way of taking it. So you're saying there's something wrong if I like women. You take it out. It can also be taken, misinterpreted like, that's not a bad thing. Nudge, nudge, wink, wink. I'm trying to flirt. An 8, not terrible though. So she looks towards you. Very pretty. Still not my type with that kind of attitude.
Yeah, that's
And if
about.
the king praised you, even less.
I've had multiple kings praise me. I was also kind of a queen, like joint queen for like a hot minute. That help? The king of Isle liked me until a little bit after.
Hmm.
There's been a lot of kings involved, actually. Now that I think about it.
You take care of yourself. She's not like hating you, but you can clearly tell that she doesn't like you. It's like her brother just showed up. Hey, I'm the new monarch of the family. So these are my friends. Your friend tries to hit on sister. First day.
Just looks out the window. Just wanders a little bit.
Yeah. Becky, what did I tell you guys about just teleporting around?
Excuse me, I
We walk
walked
at a normal
here.
speed. Micah and I had a full conversation before
Okay.
we showed up.
Yeah, no, definitely you guys did. You were behind me, but then I got
I
lost.
walked through the front door. All of you went through the side door, you morons.
Ray,
It
did you
was
put on
the
your
front-
helmet before entering this
front door?
door?
Yes.
That's what I thought.
Is the front door?
Yes, well, sit down. You've been taking too long. I've got to address this table.
Unfortunately, they're noble, so they would have waited. So everyone basically waited in silence until Ray showed up.
Okay, okay.
Unsnap me from grid so I could sit in the chair.
You can
Wait,
also
figure
just
it
click
out.
on your token, move it, and click Alt, and then unclick it where you want it to drop.
Wait, what?
So you know how you move your token?
Oh, it's okay. Figured it out.
Whoa, I just found that out too.
What?
Cool.
Wait, what?
I sit close.
Whoa.
I can
What?
also
Found that out.
just make you an.
Ah.
You've just blown everyone's mind.
Everyone's minds have been
No.
blown.
I'm
Darla,
pushing
why
Alt,
didn't you tell
nothing's
us
happened.
sooner?
You have
Oh,
to
yeah,
move your
move it
token.
like
Like,
Alt.
however you move your token, you do that, and then you click Alt, and then when you're moving it, and when you finish moving it, you let them go.
Wow.
Hmm?
Okay, cool.
Immediately headbutt Tempest.
What? Huh? What?
Just
I
the
think-
way
Alright.
the tokens were layered. It looks like that.
Oh.
Oh my
Ouch.
god.
Oh, Micah. Ow. Oh, Micah. No, I'm sitting next to Becky. No.
Well, you're sitting next to Dan.
No.
The seat closest to the family, I guess.
I should put Tempest and Becky, so I'm gonna move Dan. Sorry, Dan.
Okay.
Yeah, Becky was
It's-
there, so I just want that to be known.
I need to take Tempest's spot because I am gonna sit at the head of the table.
Fair enough.
Yeah, you should. Yeah.
I will be the head of the table.
You just sit on the table.
Okay, everybody, now that we've all arrived, I have some urgent news that might shock you. Your
Nor
son,
looks towards
Yes,
you and
oh.
nods.
yes, okay. Your son, Human Dan, and don't worry, they won't understand this, is an imbecile. And I believe suffered severe trauma to the brain early on and has developed in a way that's not suitable for, living alone. So I have taken lead, and I currently act on behalf of Dan, as Dan can only communicate with people that he trusts or believes he trusts, and he at least believes he trusts me, and without me as what could be seen as a conservator. I believe there is a person in this universe, the father of a Britney Spears, and it's basically like that, but I'm not as bad. Just, I do get a cut of Dan's money since Dan cannot handle cash. As you can see, Dan, how much cash do you have on hand?
I've got gold and a gem worth 2 gold.
As you see, Dan can't handle cash. Everyone else here has hundreds of gold, if not thousands of gold.
No,
And
I
Dan
don't.
has 2.
I don't.
Shut up, Micah.
I have
What?
thousands.
I believe you're here thinking, ooh, dang, I don't want Dan being king. But I can tell you, Dan's the best king. Because you get anything you want. And also, if you're thinking, Dan understands this, Dan does not. Because Dan acts as basically a puppet king. And it's a good thing, because then y'all can get what you need without having the risk of being king. All of you get to keep, basically, you get whatever you want, because you ask Dan, and Dan's like, okay. And yeah, we can basically train him with food to say no to the current king for whatever we want. So that's basically what I wanted to say. And
Nor
I'd like
does
to hear your thoughts.
when you finish that, nor does state there are retainers we can hire to deal with the situation at hand. But I do thank you, Miss. Doesn't know your name.
Becky.
So when
Becky Fards. You may know my name.
the traveler from the Farts estate.
Mm-hmm.
Ray's giggling a little bit under the helmet.
No one else is. This is like not a common name, but Nor knows and has dealt with the name before. Ray's just like funny and funnier every time. Looks towards Becky, Miss Becky. But we do and can hire retainers that understand the political matters at hand. And while I do thank you for bringing our son back, there is really no need to continue beyond that point.
Oh, okay.
If you're not a citizen of this kingdom itself, it would likely be frowned upon of you being one of his retainers.
Well, I can relinquish that spot, that retainer, but it will cost you for you to pay me out of my contract.
Can I see the contract then, Miss?
It's a verbal contract with Dan. Dan, did we have a contract? Yes?
We.
Yes?
I don't know if we contracted anything
Yes?
dangerous,
Yes?
but maybe we could have caught something
Yes?
on the way here.
Yes?
So, I feel good.
Yes?
Kana does state, Father, if what they're speaking of is true, then we do need to listen to them. If they do have a verbal contract, it'd be preferable to be on their good side, as they do understand Dan a little bit better than we do. And as he is going to be the next heir of our family and then the kingdom itself, we would...
Correct.
It would be prudent of us to keep our weight steady on eggshells, as one would say. Even though that's not a saying. Nor does listen to his advice. Because unlike Dan, Connor has actually proven himself multiple times. So he takes nod and agrees. All right then, Miss Becky, what is the sum that you had agreed upon?
Well, actually,
I need to
Micah?
interrupt this conversation.
Micah,
Becky.
Micah.
Becky.
please do not deceive people with your This is a vampire. Do not look her in the eyes when she says stuff, because she can control your brain.
That's actually true.
That is not how that works. You can be charmed by vampires. There are many here that keep watch over the city.
Oh, I wouldn't know that because I was born partially blind.
Becky,
Yes.
I believe we need to discuss this.
Okay, but before, can I
you
show
meet me
everybody a
at-
trick?
Can you meet me at the plant?
Yes, but before that, I'm going to show everyone a trick. Hey, Dan. Hello.
Yes. Yes. Hello.
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 Banana.
Hello.
Banana.
What?
Hello.
Ray is starting to lose it under the helmet.
Heather's like,
Camera's fine with anything but hello to say hello. Human greetings.
Human greetings.
Heather is hurting herself,
greetings.
rolling her eyes. Connor's just glad that Dan's
Human
back, honestly.
greetings.
And
Human
Zyle is
greetings.
happy that her son
Good
has
day.
made friends. Nor's just sternfully looking at his returned son.
Becky.
Yes, Micah, you wanted to speak with me.
Yes, I do. I appreciate your continual endeavor to make money, but
Correct.
at the cost of Dan, I don't believe you have his best interest in mind.
Look, they're trying to use Dan, and wouldn't we rather use Dan? Do you really think Dan cares about you? Dan, can you come over here, please?
Yes.
What is this human person's name to my left?
What? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5.
Dan, I'm your friend. What's my name?
Hello.
Hello. Okay, that's all we need.
The names ever as party. Just
Very
call
good,
us with a
Dan.
group of 6.
Yeah.
You may go back to your spot.
Currently, by the way it looks, Dan, you're not exactly sure if this is the group you've been traveling with. There's like way too many of them.
There's way too many. I'm just.
See, Micah, look, Dan is a good companion. Lots of comedic relief. Also, very, very reliable when it comes to needing someone as a punching bag. Because they literally cannot die.
I know, but he can spit poison. That's pretty cool.
It is cool. That's why we rely. He spits poison, can turn into animals, and is immortal.
But I think everybody is out to get him here.
Nobody's out to get them. He's lovable. He literally has no enemies.
He
It's
does.
actually true, though.
Literally, what are they going to execute him? And the guy is going to go up there to chop his head, and Dan's going to go, hello. And that guy's going to go, hello. And you really think after that he's going to chop the head?
So you're going to take Dan's place.
Here's the deal.
And so
I'm trying
people
to.
will be
I don't want Dan's place. I just want to be paid for Dan's place. But then what I want to do is because that king back there was kind of an asshole.
yes.
Why not? Nor seems to be a little bit level-headed. Connor's always been nice and paid me a lot of money. Made me cry once. Why don't they take over? And the way they can take over is by using their son, who is extremely agreeable.
Wouldn't that be a good thing?
I'm gonna watch this situation very closely.
Hi, thank you. Thank you. I knew you would understand.
And in the interim, I think you need to think about finding your mother and asking for the Iron Mask of Thaw. Yeah,
Mama?
yeah.
Well, okay. Well,
It's on the table. Just remember.
she's a
it's on
very
the
intimidating woman.
table. It's on the table.
Okay, we can try that, but we'll probably have to fight her.
Yeah, Becky, you do know that your mother is someone of like you took after her. You listened to her stories and basically tried to recreate that. She's someone of a proud warrior, honor bound, and very destructive. In fact, she beat up your dad, and that's kind of how they met, how they fell in love. Very weird meet cute, but it is one nonetheless. But she is someone that values strength, honor, and dignity. Which, honestly, Becky, by the way you have been acting, you have 2 of those 3 things.
I'm not very. Yeah, not dignity. Okay, Nor. Look, I guess the summary is this. I believe that your family is more inclined to lead this country than the current king. Current king is not agreeable and very demanding, and I don't have a feeling anyone in this room likes them. I have a feeling we can speak our mind here.
When you say that, the king does state, you can speak your mind, but I do suggest not making plans to usurp the king.
Oh, I'm not. I'm just suggesting maybe use your son to take advantage of that.
He will be king regardless. It is what he was born to be. You can tell
Okay,
when he
cool.
says that, it's like, it's very stern, but I want anyone that actually cares, which is Micah, Tempest, or anyone else that just wants to, can roll insight.
For interest and
I'll do that.
insight, I'm just going to say that sounds like some sort of ritual, but I'm not going to overthink it.
I don't know what's going on.
Tempest just doesn't like this kingdom, which is fair.
Yeah, no, these guys are all really mean.
Oh,
Are
that's
they-
pretty low.
Hmm.
All right. Tempest, you are understanding the words he's talking about and how Becky's communicating. There is something weird or off about it, but you just can't make it out. But by the way Micah has been acting, I'm gonna give him advantage because it makes sense. Micah has been like an older brother figure to Dan, maybe a father figure. I want to say older brother figure, like very, very old, about 666 years. As you begin to interpret Nor's voice patterns, the way he's speaking, you can tell that there's a separate way of how he's communicating. He does seem to be a very stern father, someone that, if you've ever had or have seen TV, it's like the sports dad, like your son goes into a sport that you're super invested in and your son isn't that good in it. He still cares for you, but he clearly can't show it. In this way, you can tell that Norn is concerned for his son, but at the exact same time is very strict with him. He does not... He's not glad that Dan was basically predestined to rule. He would rather his son be happy, but he can't really express it correctly.
Okay, well, I get a feeling that I am in no place to tell how merfolk how to rule their country, so I'm going to step away, but it will cost you if I'm going to relinquish my conservatorship of Dan. If you do not do that, I have a feeling we'll have to leave and Dan won't be able to be here to be king. So, that will cost you a debt. You can pay a debt of mine if you really want me to relinquish that. And you can find that debt at our shop by talking to my brother, Thaw.
What is the amount you're looking for, Miss Becky?
I believe it's 3,500 gold.
What? Wow.
Dan says, wow. Nor does state. I see. So you do not have my son's best interest at heart. Rather, you care more for monetary means.
I do.
Very well, then. He takes out what appears to be a very, very expensive-looking blade. He takes it out, and you can see that there is magic inscriptions upon it. He then... It looks like he throws it at you because he is throwing it at you, but you can tell it's not going to hit you. Rather, it embeds, like, a foot in front of you. Into the table.
I'm farsighted, so I thought it was going to hit me in the face.
That blade is worth 3,500 gold.
Oh,
Take it and leave and never speak to my son again.
thank you. I will not. I guess I will not. I will leave. Thank you very
Why
much.
You.
You all have a wonderful day. I leave and go back to my shop to give the blade to my brother so I don't have to pay interest on my knight.
Before you actually do that, he does state, leave after the rest of the conversation has been finalized.
Oh, okay.
Oh, hello.
I look at Dan and give him hello eyes, but I can't speak to Dan. Tempest, can you please say hello to Dan?
Oh, Dan, Becky says hi. Hello.
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 This goes on for about 10 minutes.
Hello.
Hello. I'm
Nor
surprised
does-
no one's done this until now.
Nor does state. I am assuming you're speaking about more than just this? Or are we done here?
Yes.
Actually,
I
I
have spoken.
believe
Should we tell him about the whole thing about saving the world?
that's right. There might be a primordial that escaped, and we can confirm it because we saw it with our own eyes.
Yes, after dying 4 times and then going unconscious by being zapped by a primordial being, I had a vision where sky fish fell from the sky ocean and ate everybody on land. So the good thing is you look more like fish than I do, so you could go underwater and you'll be safe.
Oh, actually, I have
Zio,
seen-
you're as Ray
Me
begins
too.
to put 2 and 2 together. Dan also having this dream. Zio does look towards you, Dan, and she does state, "If I had to guess, those might be wyverns rather than skyfish. They're similar to dragons, if we're really unlucky, they were dragons. But they are very territorial and honestly hard to control. If what you're saying is true, then it's quite possible that we are in a very, very dangerous state and point in time we find ourselves in." Looking toward her husband, she does state, "Perhaps speaking with the king on their behalf might be beneficial to us all." And Nor does state, "It is possible. Do you have any proof of the circumstances, or are we gonna," looks towards Becky, "take it at your word?"
Well, we don't have any direct proof, but Adam and Sola can chime in on what they've seen in the wilds and around the area. That might hint that is something bad is coming.
Solo does state that the wild and animals themselves are acting a little bit sporadic, similar to how when a volcano erupts or earthquake happens, they're not acting normally. She states that, and Adam does state, "Well, I do not have any direct proof. I can tell you that my council members are in agreement with them, as they know these people better than I do. I can also state, while they do not have the best interest in mind to everyone, they do know when to cover their own actions. So it would benefit them to make sure that things are done. And honestly, I do believe that that's one of the main forces that they work with."
True. I need to make money, and I can't make money if everyone's eaten by a dragon.
Nora nods, looking at Adam and Sola, and not really to Becky. "He doesn't like you. You basically are just using and abusing his son. He may not have a very strong connection towards Stan, but he's still his father. Thinks of you as disgusting." But Connor does state, no wait, sorry, not Connor. Heather does look towards you all, and she does state, "I honestly don't believe any of you. I do believe most of you are lying. Becky, I believe you are the biggest liar of them all. If
I
what you're
respect
saying is true, and you saw this somehow, whenever you come over here, think of the memory that happened, and I will see if that's true or not."
Well, that's going to be interesting since all of us were knocked out. Ray, why don't you go show her your memories? I'm sure that'll make them extremely happy.
Oh, okay. They were.
Be prepared, Heather. Ray is kind of, if you think I'm a liar, Ray is kind of a murderous, evil person.
I have not murdered a single person.
Yeah, that's true, but look past the I tried to take on something to take over the world type of memory.
Maybe Ray
Have
is
fun.
not the person that should go get his
Anyways,
mind
I'm
scratched.
fine. I haven't done. Well, I haven't killed anyone.
Yeah, but
Not everyone's perfect, yes, but I'm not the worst.
I think she should look at my mind.
Did you see enough?
She hasn't started yet. When Micah says, "I think she should see my mind," she does state, "I can see more than one mind, and it'd be beneficial if I understand more than one of you. I just didn't think one would actually be willing."
Becky's not
Okay,
going to
here
show
you
her
go.
mind
I'm going to
because
show
she was
my
scared.
Okay.
I'm going to show my mind.
You go over towards Heather, and Ray unmasks. Micah, you go next to her. And she does begin with Ray's mind. She puts her palm against your forehead, and she does state, "May I go deep into your mind to find these memories?"
Yeah, no problem.
Okay, so no wisdom save needed, because she's looking and you know it. Are you thinking of these memories to help her, or are you gonna make her do work?
Okay, so here's the thing. I don't know if this would have any influence in it. Is Ray would present the memories, but from Ray's perspective. So like they would be very rose-colored comparatively to the reality. If that makes
That
sense.
wouldn't. That's more thoughts. She's going into actual memory. What you saw, what happened there. It's not taking into account your thought process.
Oh, it
It's
doesn't
more like
take out my mentality
No.
because like it's gone and I am crazy. So I
Like a movie. You're gonna look real good.
it's more like you're a
when-
camcorder and you were looking at this entire time.
okay, then yeah, it's fine.
Claps on. She begins to dive deep into your mind. You feel all this, the extreme pain when you help out, or you don't make it worse. It depends on you. It just means it takes longer. She eventually finds these memories here and there. She discovers that it's mostly all of your guys' fault that this happened. Then she lets your ad go, and she looks towards Micah. Okay. It's already pretty bad, but do you mind if I peer into your mind?
Wait, bad? I feel as though at least I've done really good up to this point.
No.
I feel
Oh
that
boy, Tempest, this
you're-
isn't going to go well.
you're gonna see the truth.
No, it's not.
It's going to be embarrassing.
Very well. She, again, palm to temple. Do you mind if I peer into your mind?
Nope.
She is no resistance, so she's able to dive deep into your memories. As it begins to dive and look at these images, she cross-examines it with what she already has with Ray, and can clearly see what has actually happened. Since Ray has one viewpoint, Micah delivers another one, and the already bad viewpoint she has with the group, it becomes worse. It becomes better with Tempest and Micah, but it becomes worse. She takes note of Dan killing multiple fish multiple times, sometimes the same fish. She takes note of Ray trying to set Becky's hair on fire multiple times. She does take note of Tempest and Tempest's former counterpart that was here and then left because she wasn't happy with the way things were going. So she headed out into a different plane of existence altogether. And then she takes note of Ray quite literally asking if she can be the one to unlock this thing.
This is going well.
Well, when you lay it all out like that, it doesn't sound great.
Yeah, right? I thought it was
Does it?
going to be from my perspective, which would have been a lot better.
I mean, does she see our attempts, or at least Micah's?
She sees
attempt
Micah's attempt, Tempest's attempt.
and to change it
Yeah,
and being sucked into
Tempest,
this,
you have charm.
and
Listen.
now trying to fix it.
she sees Micah's attempt, Tempest's attempt, and Nara's attempt, but she also sees Becky trying to basically get as much stuff out of this before she tries to bail. So she knows Becky's an extreme liar, very likes to steal, likes to lie, all this stuff. And I mean, so honestly, didn't like Becky before, doesn't like her now. She understands and looks at Ray and her conflicting viewpoints and clearly says one thing, means another thing, doesn't take things in the way that they would. Didn't like Ray before, hit on her, liked her even less, with memories of Ray's own viewpoints and Micah's own viewpoints. Hates her now.
Hey, Dan, I feel as though this is going really well.
Please read Naira's
I think-
mind, please.
I think,
Yes.
I think the family's really liking them.
Looks at Dan, and with the memories Micah does have with Dan, again, Ray doesn't really spend that much time with Dan other than trying to mess with him. Likes her brother a little bit better, only because he seems like a goofball and doesn't seem to understand what he's doing. He doesn't, now with actual information, extremely doesn't believe her brother is up to the task of governing anything, but doesn't hate him anymore.
We
That's
helped.
good. That's good.
we helped. Yeah.
Helped one thing, ruined everything else. But Heather does look towards Nar, Zyle, and Connor. It does seem that they're telling the truth, but they're holding a lot of things back. But it does seem that they want... Looks towards Micah. He does seem like wanting to fix things. Can't really see the same about her, but it does seem that they're working towards a better goal of things. I would listen to them, and if it is prudent, Father, allow Becky to continue working with Dan if they are continue to work together, but do not listen to her voice whatsoever. It is spouting a very, very, a lot of lies. I'm gonna say it outright. I'm gonna, forgive me for breaking decorum. She's a straight up liar. Doesn't speak with Dan whatsoever other than using and abusing him, including the rest of these people. Honestly, I'm surprised she's here, but she is a merchant's daughter, so that's not surprising for her to do that. Still messed up, though.
I'm surrounded by friends.
Truth.
She looks at you, Dan, very sympathetic, like, oh, you poor thing.
You never learned what friends were.
Likes you now. Not to rule, of course. But Nor does take this into account. I see. Well, it does seem that things are in order. Or at least needing to be in order. Well, I do believe my daughter more than the rest of you. It does seem that something is going to happen. I will see if I can't advise the king to listen to your request of yours to help out in this endeavor. Maybe potentially putting the marriage back a few weeks or months depending on what happens next. But as of right now, I do not know what will happen next. So I do advise you to be careful and cautious.
Yes. Happens next is I have a question.
That being?
Yes. See, this whole time I have been slightly more, friendly towards those who appear of more of a certain, I don't know, appearance than other people. Less of something and more of something. Is that common with fish people?
No. It's common with xenophobes. People that do not care for others by their appearance or where they hail from.
How do you feel of humans?
Depends on the individual themselves.
Oh. How does the king feel of humans?
Cares for little of any other race other than himself.
Oh, wow. Huh. Nice. This is very cool. Very cool. I've learned a lot about me. Thank you. Dan is interested in the king as a role model.
He
found him very persuasive.
Sure. But Noah does state, if you do intend to better yourself, looks towards you, Dan, it would be prudent to learn and adapt and grow your mind rather than your skills, as it does not seem they're fully there.
Yes. Well. Yes. Sure. Can I buy something to help with that? Like a potion? I once gave intelligence potion to my intern family, and they turned out better than they were before. And then one became immortal and can now walk on land. So I'm just curious if there's anything like that I can spend all of my money on, particularly 200 and gold, maybe 177 gold. It's close.
Immediately look towards her father. Heather does state, tell him no. He's just going to murder for more fish. He clearly has no idea what he's doing. Be a parent and don't give your child a toy he's going to break. If you like something for yourself, there is...
asking for help.
Looks towards you, Heather does. I saw your memories about him. He bought some of these and gave them to fish.
So, somebody needs to guide him.
He did this
He
more than
thought he was
once.
helping his family.
He doesn't
Yes, they're my family.
understand. He doesn't
I'm
understand.
good at guiding
He
people.
was trying to communicate
Oh,
to him. He
Oh,
thought
I
they
have
were
an
his
idea.
family.
I've just remembered. I think I can make this right. I would like to place 50 gold on the table, and I would also like to put my graveyard sand on the table.
I'm pretty sure you're out of graveyard sand at this point. It's new.
No.
I think you went to a different graveyard, but you're out of the old graveyard sand.
Oh, yes. But do I have any dirt?
I'm sure there's dirt mixed into that.
Okay. I would like to say, I would like to make amends to the family that taught me a lot in their 5 seconds of existence. And hopefully they can be buried on the family's funeral plot, along with any other family members who might be well loved.
Go ahead and roll persuasion.
I am good at persuasion.
It's pretty good. Connor does look
Okay.
towards your father and his father too, and does state, if what he's saying is true, and these looks at pile of sand and gold, these ashes are from someone that brought and raised my brother, it would be akin to family, and that would be something beneficial, showing honor and homage towards the people that raised him as long as they could, until these folks looked towards all of you, were able to find him once more.
Yes.
Very well then. He does summon an attendant. The attendant basically doggy bags the ashes. And then Nor does state, bring them to the family plot and bury them the best way you can. The attendant nods and
Yes. Thank you very much.
heads out. Nor then states, there are many things you are clearly lacking and missing, but with time, those could eventually be mended. The very reason why you were brought here, the very reason why you were born, according to how you came out, is there is, or at least there was a king formerly that was very reminiscent of you. One so that it became a ritual of right that those born in the same heretical state would grow and become the next future ruler. It has been a doctrine where we continue on this legacy. My family and the royal family are ones that had these people beforehand, and the king, trying to get this genetical adaptation to appear once more, married into a different family of non-nobility, but was not able to reproduce this. I think it would be considered a recessive gene. This he wouldn't say abnormality. Difference.
Like Mary. She would be lovely to have my last name. Mary Human Man Dan.
She is not
would marry
fond
me.
of men, but yes, you would marry her.
She would marry Mary Human Man Dan. I would like to marry. Well, I am sorry. I think I got lost. But I am here.
Yes, you are. Again, very stern. But he doesn't seem to be mad. But very stern. Hard to tell. He does state, though, if you are intending to stay here in the kingdom, we can teach and educate you. If you intend to head out to stop this calamity, we could potentially assist you and your team. And if I have no reason to doubt my daughter, your companions showed her the truth, it would be prudent to have help, including those just wanting to take advantage of you. It's a shame you don't have many friends.
I would like to say I don't just take advantage of Human Man Dan. I actually enjoy Human Man Dan's company.
Enjoying someone's company and taking advantage of them do not make something.
And it's hard for me to admit I do consider Dan my friend. It's just hard for me to make friends. Becky then
And
goes in and tries to give a sad sob story of why she has no friends and the death of all her other friends, and to try to make herself look better.
that's fair. He actually, I don't think you would know this. You just know he's rich. Ray, you know that's a lie. By the bookkeeping you saw. She might not have friends, that's definitely true. But you can clearly tell that some of the stuff she's talking about was like, she goes on to, when I was young, I was raised by a pack of bears until my family found me. A lot of lies here and there. That don't add up to the timeline. But Nor takes it in, and he simply does state, I can understand an upbringing could be problematic, as many people are raised to be who they are today by the influence of others. That being said, if you continue to use actions as you have done so multiple times, that is a habit you continue to actively take. So while I do believe you believe you are a friend of my son, it does not make it right the actions you have taken against him.
I actually feel kind of bad about it, so I am just gonna not say anything and try to act all cool.
Becky, go ahead and roll persuasion to try to act cool and him buying it. It's pretty bad.
Very nice.
You take your chair, flip it backwards so you're basically think cool substitute teacher style. Too bad you don't have a backwards cap. Just staring at him like I'm cool. Nora just looks at you, clearly not buying it. Well then, what would you like to help you in your endeavors? Looks towards Becky. Money not being one of them.
Well, we are, as you can see, trying to correct wrongs we have committed, mainly the primordial. Might be more Ray's fault. Sorry, Dan. More Ray's fault. But we are looking for keys or relics that can be used to seal the primordial away. We have found a few, but we are still looking for a couple.
There are a few items that I know of that are very powerful. Mainly the ones that the schools take hold of. One of them is the Blade of Light that belongs to Isle. A very powerful gift given to the kingdom by Celestials that they now hold as a school treasure. Another
That's right,
treasure
yes.
is the Spear of Life, given to our kingdom by traveling druids. A very powerful gifted item itself. Your family, of course, like many others, hold relics of their own. And I assume you do know your own lineage's connection to the stone and steel itself. He's probably referring to the Mask of Thal.
Okay.
Then there
wait,
is...
out
ahead.
of game, do we have the spear or do they still have it?
Nope, school still has it.
Okay. Well, we are looking for a way to obtain the spear from the school, and as you can see, we aren't very trustworthy. So we are looking for some help from individuals who are more well established in this town.
I can speak with the king and see if he can't relinquish the spear to your services, so long as you're able to return it back.
Thank you. Well, if we don't return it back, it means we've failed and everyone's doomed anyways.
Quite. Other than those items that I've just spoken about, there is the treasure of frost and the treasure of mist and their academies.
Oh my god.
Yeah, he does state the frost weapon itself is that of a beautiful and ornate cloak. For some reason, I forgot the name of the word cloak. Ordained and given to them by a very powerful wizard. Mist themselves hold a very powerful item known as the Electrum. It's similar to the metal itself, but it is better to say that it is a very powerful and destructive weapon.
Thank you.
Hey, Zyle. Wanted to- Becky said it was not my fault, but it really, I just had a.
Ray, you're pretty
very
quiet on my
small-
end. I can't hear you.
Oh yeah, I'm trying to whisper.
Zyle, I know that like Becky said that I was the one that was at fault. I played a small role at most. You know, that was a small lie there.
Ray, roll deception. Actively turning the key is not a small roll.
it's a
Literally
small,
opening the door
small, it's
for.
a small roll. Just a small roll.
You basically rolled a 2.
Look towards Zyle. Becky said I played a very large role, but all I did was turn the key. So, not that bad. Zyle looks towards you, not believing you, but you're basically one of her son's friends, so she's just like, it's one of those mom things, like she knows you're lying. Pat you on the shoulder and like continues to listen to everyone.
Yes. I travel between 4 and 8 companions. That's just, I burst that out. That's all I was saying.
Okay. Nor does state, beyond the school's own treasures, the kingdom does house their own things, but usually the legendary artifacts are given to the schools, or those that are able to keep them to themselves. If you are looking for treasures of that sort, I would communicate with the black market if you are able to find them.
Good to know. Well, I believe that's all. I don't want to. I believe I would say we are friends, but I don't believe we are. Since I have done some things that are not too kind to your family, but I do believe we have what we need, and if you wouldn't mind letting the king know that we are looking for a recommendation so that we could get the spear, that would be kind of you. What we would offer in return is saving the world, which I will admit, we have to fix since it kind of was our fault. So, we need help.
Heather just looks towards you, Becky, and mouths a whole lot. As in, kind of our fault, it's a whole lot of your fault.
Right. Okay. Yes, that might be a way to describe it. But it's also, I would like to reflect and blame Isle, since they told us to do it.
Roll deception. Already disadvantaged because she does. Heather doesn't like you, nor doesn't like you. Zal's indifferent currently.
They did.
Both 22s.
I guess, they did put us in the position,
Perhaps.
and we are very agreeable people.
Then perhaps Isle needs to be investigated and potentially go to war with them, with the dealings that happened at matter at hand. If they were the ones that helped out with the Primordial's awakening, and we already seem to have a common enemy and someone that we need to bring down.
If their legs are nicer than mine, you just cut them off.
Yeah. Also, Heather will know this, but I believe we can help you as, a politician. And Isle, there is someone, I forget his name, Heather would probably remember, who is working and one of the leads in the big old bad organization that is set the primordial free. So if you're ever doing business there, you probably want to avoid that person.
Oh, if what you're saying is true, we're gonna immediately strike that area. If what you're saying is true.
By strike, you mean not go to?
By strike, I mean actively go against them, raid their
Oh.
towns, burn them down, and make sure the
Okay.
king pays for the crimes.
Well,
Starting
I
with the
would-
church and the ruling class, of course.
Well, I wouldn't say
There
it's
is this bird statue there on top of a building. You should take it out. It's looking at you every time. Looking you down. Sure, you take it out.
Okay, I would like to say that a lot of the people in Isle are pretty good people, especially the guards. It's actually
Hey.
where your son lived. They're good
Those
friends
boys, they
with
look
your
just
son.
like me.
And
Yeah.
it really is just one guy who's deceived all of Isle. I forget his name, but he has blonde hair and he's pretty hot, and he wears a mask sometimes.
Backtracking to say the king did it too. No, it was actually this one guy.
Oh yeah, well the king. Becky stumbling and stuttering, trying to fix what she is doing again, is going to try to say, well, technically, Isle gave us a job to stop it and told us to work with them, but didn't tell us when it was time to stop working with them. So,
That's a lie. They did tell you when to stop.
oh, okay, well, we did, and well, we didn't because
Becky, you
we
would
were
know.
in too deep.
Yeah, you tell them that there was. They gave us this job to make sure and investigate what's currently happening with the gates, and we somehow stumbled into all of this. Unfortunately, we weren't able to jump ship when we were potentially able to stop, as things were moving too fast. Yes, I'm gonna say the way Becky says it.
Yeah.
Nord does take this to action, so he stops making plans to go to war with Isle and basically
Guards,
burn the kingdom down.
Let's go.
Yeah. Because at a game, a lot of nobles actually do have their own private armies. They do have like their own soldiers that they can actively use for the kingdom's own purposes if they decide to, or for their own purposes to go out and lay waste to other cities, kingdoms, and the like. So he could do that. So Becky, good job on backtracking there.
Yeah, I was like, oh, I don't want this. I don't want to actually be responsible for the death of a bunch of people in Isle.
But he does take note of this. Clearly, he understands that you don't have a very political mind set.
No.
And clearly, potentially, could have just accidentally lied. He does take this note, nods in the understanding, and he does state, very well then. Tomorrow, come back here, and we will discuss what happens with the missive I send to the king. And I'll try to bring the date of the wedding farther into the future I will phrase it in the way of making sure that there's an audience for the new and future ruler, but also to make sure to buy you enough time to gather more individuals to help out in your endeavor.
Thank you.
Thank you very much.
Question, Nora, do you know of any dungeons in the area?
There are a few.
Are there any that you would recommend that might be of interest and hold items that might be of value to your son? Your son is very poor at fighting, and if we're going to fight the primordial, they're going to need to be stronger. They're 0 and 4.
There is one dungeon that we have yet to fully explore. The reason why it's very dangerous. If you don't have the keen mind and of intellect, if you don't have the strength to go behind it, people use it as a testing ground to see how far they get, but no one has made it to the very end. And by the way it's shaped and laid out, it does seem to be intentional, so it's possible that there is a great treasure behind it. It is known as the Dungeon of the Mad Mage, which is not, I should say that out loud, for Ray and Tempest, it's not the D&D module. would already say that.
Oh. Okay, well, thank you. That is good to know. I
Becky.
believe we do
Becky.
need to level up some people. Wait, what?
Becky, I'm just curious. Somehow I have forgotten information on a dungeon. Why are we going to a dungeon?
I was looking for
To
an area that
adventure.
might. It's
Huzzah.
to adventure, huzzah! But also, I was looking for an area that might possess an item that might be beneficial for humandan. Like, you remember that sand area we went one time and almost died?
Like more pets.
And we got Naira a very important headpiece? Or, that one time I drank that potion, there's places that we can go to
Oh,
find better gear to help people who maybe die every single time, like that.
oh,
Oh,
okay. We don't, yeah, though he does keep coming back to life.
Right?
Every time.
But even that is sketch.
Okay,
Uh,
I
n-
see.
Nor would understand this because he's a military man. Looking towards your group when you say, and Dine's died a couple times and come always back. Immortal. I forgot actually what Dan said. Nor does state. Depending on how many times you have cheated death, death will eventually find you and make sure you stay gone. I do advise not going out there and thinking you'll be able to come back each and every time. If you do have the right precautions, you might be able to avoid it a few times, but there is a breaking point where death seeks the soul.
I'm pretty sure with my skills, he'll be just fine.
What was that the very knowledgeable person just said? Was that there are consequences for your actions, even if maybe the person doesn't stay dead?
No, absolutely
Wow.
not. Dan, have you
No.
had any consequences to me bringing
Death
you
is a
back to life?
consequenceless action.
Exactly,
no
that's what I've been
consequence.
saying.
Shadowy figures all over Dan's spectral eye of line of sight. Like just out of the corner of your eye, you do see like viduses of clawing arms going directly at you, phantom spirits here and there. If Dan was fully aware of his being, super afraid. Dan, I guess is lucky he's not.
I would like to, yeah, every time that happens, I would like to just point out that Dan freezes and looks just like his token. There's not much emotion there. It's just too much overload. It just shuts down.
Fair enough. But yeah, when Tempest says, what? Actions have consequences, nor does state they do, including for the ones that bring the individual back to life, which is why
Ooh.
Weird. You don't say.
necromancy is highly frowned upon.
You
What?
don't
Are
say.
is the next thing you're gonna say is like what? They lose their mind or something?
Very much
Oh,
so, yes.
you don't say. You don't say.
What happens to their skin?
What? My skin's fantastic.
It varies from
That's why
person
you wear
to
the helmet
person.
all the time, right?
Interesting.
Nor does
It's
state.
blue.
It varies from person to person depending on what they do. But eventually, you are actively using life energy to bind and bring someone back from the brink of death. Often and not, depending on who the caster is, it might be your own life energy, and you eventually may be susceptible to becoming an undead. A full living on skeleton, walking in the flesh. Your
Ew.
flesh will become gray, and then until it might peel away, revealing the marrow underneath.
Yeah,
No, that's not
it's
gonna
extremely descriptive.
happen.
There are other things that happen depending on, once again, who the person is.
Blech.
But the living cells
Sorry.
eventually get it's fine
I have a
replaced
weak stomach.
by the dead.
Well, thank you. I think that is all. We will return tomorrow. I believe we are going to. Oh.
Store.
Becky, did you just say you had a weak stomach? I've literally seen you bash someone's skull open and everything splatter everywhere.
It's the green stuff that does it for me. Excuse me, I'm trying to build up my strength. I believe we're going to. I believe
So someone's brain exploding is fine,
Storm.
but a little bit of green is
I
what you
believe
call
we're
the
going to
line?
find my mother.
Yeah. Connor does state
Snore.
towards his father, Father, if it is not being over presumptuous, perhaps one of us should accompany Dan to make sure that these individuals take care of him while he's out and
Good
about.
idea.
If they do intend to go to the dungeon, it will also make sure that the next king does not die under their watch.
Yes, as I am no longer in control of Dan, that would be advised.
Heather does look around Connor's shoulder. You never were. You literally just wanted money.
That's right.
She's
But a
honestly-
deal's a deal.
He already gave you the blade. He's not taking that back. Again, honor-bound to do what he does and says what he says. But he saw your actions through Ray and Micah, so... While Heather doesn't have actual proof, she has context proof, and that is enough for her. But Nora does take this into account, and that is honestly a good idea based on Dan's track record and that he's lying. Nora does state, very well then. If you do intend to head out, you may choose between my two children here, who to accompany you with. And in turn, I will house one of your own in the town while you're gallivanting about.
nice.
I choose Connor. Connor was a very nice person to all of us. Good attitude. Also pretty strong.
You?
Plus, I don't think Heather really thinks much of us.
She looks
Yeah.
around you, Micah. You, I'm fine with. Her, looks towards Tempest, I'm fine with. Nara, she doesn't technically know Nara's name. Her, I'm fine with. It's just everyone else.
You.
Just completely oblivious.
I am fond of Tempest. And
Auntie, I paid you.
Micah is pretty cool.
I paid
Dan
you a
is
lot
adorable.
I'm speechless.
And the white-haired girl. Who?
Becky,
Where
I
is she?
paid you-
That one.
I paid you 500 gold, dude.
Oh, that's right. I am your friend.
There we go. Steve, Heather.
See what? That you can be paid off to be someone's friend? Wow.
Isn't friendship?
No, that's not
Monetary?
friendship. That's
Yeah.
basically
Becky,
paying a bodyguard.
Isn't it the phrase, it's not about the journey, it's about the friends you paid along the way?
Rolls super hard, rolls her eyes. Doesn't say anything, because clearly, in her mind, you're a lost cause. Sorry, Becky. But yeah,
Okay.
Becky said, ooh, Connor. He seems to be the nice one. Not judging me all the time. Because she totally is. What does everyone else choose?
The con man.
Connor.
Did I what?
Connor,
What about Connor?
are you choosing him to join us?
Con man Dan.
Yes. Yes,
Ba-
I choose Connor.
Yeah, basically, it was his idea to make sure that, you guys don't accidentally let Dan die. After all,
I like that he's
Dan died
looking
in the
out for his brother.
and at this point, it is 3 out of 5. So, sorry, Dan and Ray, you can vote, but at this point, it's already been called. Well, actually, Dan, you voted for Connor. What am I talking about?
Con man.
Ray,
No.
you can vote if you want, but you're heavily outnumbered.
Dan, who'd you vote for?
Con man Dan.
Oh, yeah, I'll vote for that too.
I'm just gonna say Sola votes Heather, so she actually gets a vote. But Adam votes Connor, and Nara votes third party. She votes for Zyle.
Whoa. Mom. Fish mom could have came.
For Fish Mom. No, technically she would not, because she is the matriarch of the estate and would not actively go and, put her son in danger. Or actively, contribute to potential danger. But no, Fish Mom wouldn't have technically joined. She has her own thing. She is, technically she is not the general, but she is part of the people that are training Nor's soldiers.
Mm.
Strong Fish Mom. But yeah, looking towards your team, he does state, very well then. Looks towards Nara. You will have free reign of the city itself, but to make sure no one is in full danger, Connor will accompany your team, and if you so choose, you can stay in the town and do what you'd like, while your team, I suppose, moves around and about. Taking this up to myself, Nara agrees more or less. She's basically getting paid to take a holiday. She nods. He nods in turn and basically looks towards you. Nora looks towards you. Very well then. Well, we'll see you tomorrow. Towards the rest of you.
Well, thank you very much. We will be going.
See you later,
I leave.
alligator.
Are you? Exit.
Exit left.
You guys begin to exit stage left without too much of an issue.
Fans, follow me through the windows.
Move it, gods!
Wait, is everyone following Dan through the window?
Yep.
Yes.
Was that a window? I walked through a door, didn't I?
Yeah,
Nope,
there's like
we
a door
walked
right
through
here.
There's a window.
I can't tell.
Ray walks back and mends it.
Okay. Honestly, I should make you take glass damage for every time you break a window, Dan.
I'll take it. I could break 38 of them, or 36, whatever that number is.
You'd be dead.
36 planes of gas.
But yeah.
Hey, Dan. How are you feeling
Yes.
about getting married?
Pretty excited. I've come to the conclusion that my hatred for non-humans might have been flipped the wrong way. And after listening to Fish King, I was like, oh, I kind of like to marry Mary Mandan. So, maybe I need to flip-flop, like stand on my head now instead of my toes.
Well, I think you're kind of jumping to marriage pretty quickly.
I like now that we're using human derogatories like jumping instead of flopping into marriage like it was a fish beforehand. We've already turned over the right way.
I don't think anyone's ever said that.
I never would have said something like that, Dan. Never. You take things
I
like
know.
that so personally. But I am
But
your
not anymore.
friend, and I am worried about you. You don't know this girl. You don't know anything
Yes.
about her. She might snore.
We share
she
a common
might.
interest. We like staring at small shiny things. So I'm gonna go spend all of my shiny money to buy a smaller object that is just as shiny, but the shiniest thing I can buy.
That's a very human thing of you to do, Dad.
Dan,
Dan, maybe. Do you like shiny rings?
I like shiny objects.
Yeah, shiny rings are very shiny. And you can get her
Like-
one of those.
Yes, like tackle, like chunks of metal, like metal squares.
Yes, but this one
Ah.
goes around your finger, so it's always there and being shiny.
No, Ray, maybe he
Oh.
doesn't want to get married. Maybe he doesn't understand about marriage. It's a huge
I-
commitment. It's a lot
Yes,
of work.
But
and
Mary has a bag full of shiny things.
Yes.
yes,
And as the king, you would have a lot of shiny things.
And Mary's bag of shiny things.
Yes,
but
those would all be yours.
As you head over towards this area, Connor has been joining you this entire
Everybody.
time until he's basically out of earshot of the guards, his father, and everyone else. And when he said, Mary has a ton of shiny shoes, and Ray then states, Yeah, and as king, you would have a ton of shiny things. Connor does state, yes, you would. Also, it's great to see you all again. I'm sorry for the formalities, after all. Have to do put on airs. Yes, you would have a lot of things, Dan, but you would also have a very sad wife.
Oh, Connor. Quick.
Bad wife.
Sad wife.
It's fine. Quick
Sad wife.
sidebar, Connor.
That's sad.
Why?
I'll buy her more shiny things.
Why would she be sad?
I don't know your circumstances and how you feel about love, but she does not care for people like Dan.
Like,
Or myself.
Like-
Or Sir Adam here. Or
Sir Adam.
Sir Micah.
She doesn't like humans?
What? That doesn't even go, Micah.
He's basically
Like
walking on
people with
eggshells. You can clearly
people
tell
with
at a
bare
game
feet?
what he means.
Yeah,
But
but
people with
Dan's
feet.
not going to understand it. You've got to make it black and white for Dan.
I know.
Right.
This is way over
I
Dan's head.
I don't even think Dan would understand if we said, he just doesn't.
Connor, a quick thing. So, what if? Is there no way that like Dan could just be like, I don't know, like a mascot?
I have
Like for the country?
Again,
I'm not a mascot.
my father
brilliant
did
idea.
tell you the circumstances of what
I'll be a
happens.
man
He
scout.
would be the king, but obviously, he is,
King man.
as Becky put it, not fully able to lead. So he would have retainers to more or less do the job. So yes, he would be acting king, but
can
he
make
would have
leading
advisors to actually lead for him until his last day of king, and then the lineage would continue beyond that point, or until he decided to retire and give the crown to one of his children.
Hey, Dan, can you come with me?
Or potential chosen
I'd like to-
next heir.
Excuse me, ma'am.
Can I help you, miss?
Hello. Hello, ma'am.
Yes?
Hello.
Are you going to
Do you need
Hello.
something?
Are you going to preposition her?
Hello.
Hello.
Do you need something?
Hello.
The woman that you're
Hi.
speaking to, Dan. Hi, how can I help you?
Hi. Yes. I would like to buy the shiny things.
The metal boxes?
Yes, whatever is shiny. I'd like to make my body more shiny. I'd like to get shiny things and wrap them around my body.
Then you
So I
probably
could
want
be-
armor. We sell rations and
Oh.
feeding supplies for travelers.
Okay, sorry.
It's fine.
You sell
if you-
travelers, you say?
No, for travelers.
Oh, I've been looking for one of those. I was promised one time. I think he was like a dog man with horns, but he left.
Not understanding what you're putting down. Sorry to hear that.
Oh, what do you look like, Lady in Blue? You kind of look like the guy.
That guy. Well, I'm a tiefling. I am,
Yes.
sure, she can be a blue tiefling. Blue in nature, and, I sell supplies for people and weary travelers, while they continue on their journey.
Okay, do you know what would be a good gift? I could buy with 227 gold.
Um,
That is a small, round, shiny object.
I suppose it depends on, who you're buying it for?
The prince, the queen, small queen.
The princess?
Yes.
She does like various shiny things and, very ornate and, jewelry.
cool. Can you make a jewelry out of rations?
I'm afraid not. You can go to the jeweler's guild perhaps and request something, or go to the
Very
general
good.
store and buy something from there.
Good, good. Yes. I am done with the conversation. I shall stand here.
Looks towards you, and then when you stood there for like a minute, she looks away. The two basically take a 5-foot step back, leaving Dan alone. Connor's keeping an eye on his brother while he's looking towards you guys. Again, I don't know what you consider love, but she would not be in love with Dan. I can already tell you that now. There's a reason why she doesn't have suitors.
Is she in love with you?
No.
Is she in love with no one?
She spends a lot of time. She spends a lot of time with her handmaiden.
Ah.
Okay, I get it. Well, then Dan's the perfect husband.
I suppose if he's very.
Literally a mannequin that you can dress up in jewels.
I mean, I
It's
recently
not
just
like he's
met my
gonna
brother.
kiss her. He doesn't even know what that is.
I just recently met my brother a few weeks ago, and you understand him better than I do. If he is fine with having a loveless marriage and cheating straight up to his wife, which honestly I do not care for. If you aren't in love or don't want to be married, just don't, or get divorced. But that's his own thing. If that's what he chooses to do, that is his choice, I suppose.
I guess I will give him the option since I no longer control him.
Connor, if you were in his position, would you marry her?
I would not. I would potentially arrange something where she would be free to choose whoever she loved to be wed to, and then I just act like someone of an advisor until either she adopted an heir or found a next person she would choose to be king or queen.
Oh.
Can she
Cool.
choose a queen?
You can choose the next heir so long as you are the heir. Choosing. Sorry, pardon. You are the king or queen currently in rule. As mentioned beforehand, due to the abnormality that my brother has been gifted with, he was then predetermined to be the next king. And due to those types of clauses, the current ruler can choose who is the next king. It needs to be that way in order for, things like this to happen. So a acting ruler can choose someone outside of their own lineage, believing them to be the next proper leader.
Okay, good to know. Connor, do you know my mother?
I've met her once or twice when she prepositioned me for a. Again, love is love, but there are age limits. She wanted me to wait until one of your younger sisters is of marrying age.
Oh. Right.
Well, technically not your mother, it was your father. And then I said no. Walking on eggshells again. I said I am sure they would find love with their own time and of their own choosing.
You're a good person, Connor. Well, I'm looking for my mother, and it's probably not going to be safe for anybody. Do you know where I can find her, or do I need to go back to ask my brother?
I'm afraid I do not know. I know that she comes from time to time into town with your father. But right now your father is on an expedition gathering more material
Thank
somewhere.
God.
So I'm not sure where your mother currently is.
Well, we'll find her, I guess. And
Very
then,
well. That being said, is there any reason why your companion over there is by the fountain? Ray, what are you doing? Other than jumping in the fountain?
I'm muted. So I rolled Arcana. Yeah, Ray's trying to imbue the fountain with the necromantic, necrotic energy.
Okay.
Why?
He's just practicing.
You begin to hone in and focus in a lot of necrotic energy into your palms and bury them into the water fountain itself. As you begin to do so, the energy begins to disperse into the water, and you do see a coloration change into the pools. Eventually, you do see that the coloration dissipates into the rest of the stream as it curls in and goes through. You can tell it's still there, but the more it begins to travel, the more it spreads out into the water, making it less visible.
Do I sense danger?
I forgot that your danger sense isn't actually just you sensing danger. I think you can actually get advantage on a few things. I think it's saving throws you
Yeah.
get advantage on, which is actually pretty good.
That's cool.
But I forgot for the longest time what that was. But yes, you do sense danger. Like, I'm gonna go ahead and give Becky like the type of insight that, oh, there's clearly something wrong happening around her. Yes, you do sense danger around you. You just can't really tell what it is. Go ahead and roll perception to determine if you can spot the danger, or you might misinterpret it. 15. You do see Ray currently dunking their hands into the well. Unfortunately, I didn't describe it this way, so you can't determine what she's doing, but you can tell that that's just weird.
I know she's up to something. I'm going over there. I slap Ray as hard as I can.
You slap Ray so much so that it spins her helmet 180 degrees.
What?
No. No. No.
What?
No.
When you
we
look into
went
the-
over this.
When you look into the fountain,
No.
you can see the discoloration into it. But eventually, after a good 15 seconds, it unfortunately still distributes into the water, nearly invisible until it's out of sight. Then it's completely invisible.
What?
Oh, great. Nope. 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 We went over this.
No, we.
Where do you
what?
think this water goes?
I don't know. It's just a small fountain.
We said not harming people. You just pointed us in the water supply.
No, this is just
This-
a decorative fountain. I'm not.
It's a fountain
Yes. A
of
decorative
water that provides what it provides all the showers in town.
Fountain. What? Why would they
You know how
have-
water
Why
works.
would this water? Look at this. This is clearly just walk. I'm walking. in
I
the water.
definitely saw a person come with a bucket earlier.
You did.
and take water from this fountain. Yeah,
did.
I did.
Okay, Ray, purify this water now. Practice it. Practice it. Or I
Okay.
will hit you once with my sword.
I will purify the water in
How?
my crazy mindset.
Run a magic.
Yep.
13's unfortunately not that strong. So you go in and you try to hone in your skills. This time around, there's not really that much. It's like if you've ever had like if your water's ever turned off, it's like a small trickle of necrotic energy until there's like nothing coming out.
Is it purified?
No.
I don't think I did good that time.
Okay, brace yourself.
I mean, if you could give me like guidance or something.
Brace yourself.
Becky can't guide people. She doesn't do magic, except for muscle magic.
Wait, hold on. What?
Taking the flat end of your blade, pa! It doesn't actually hurt Ray, but it just it's very, very loud. Unfortunately, 12 is not enough to actually strike Ray to actually deal damage. It's more like
Glances off my armor.
it's like a more hard slap. It vibrates, but it doesn't really hurt.
What are you doing?
Ray,
At this point in time, Ray and Becky, go ahead and roll perception checks. That tracks.
Very nice.
Yep. I love how I rolled 2 good rolls and everything since has gone downhill.
Becky, while you're investigating and looking around, making sure that Ray maybe didn't destroy this town, you can determine at this point in time, yeah, you can walk through the water, but if you're rude, but you have seen people come in, grab buckets here and there of the water and go into their own town. Based off of how it's streaming downwards, you can tell that it was architecturally created to look this way, not like it was destroyed. It's more like this was made to look as natural as possible, but the fountain is there to indicate that this is where the water is coming from. It is like a pump system where it takes underground water, brings it up, shows it off into the air to basically give it a nice oxygen level, and then brings it back into a pool to distribute it into the town.
Well, see, Ray, I want you to think. How did that swing feel?
Well, it was loud.
Yes, if that had hit you,
Well, I mean, it did. It just glanced off my armor.
yeah, if it had hit you in the head, you'd be dead.
I mean, I don't think I would have been.
Yes. Well, what is 28 plus 5 if it was a hypothetical number?
What? Why are you talking about maths now?
That would have been 33. And if I gave your health bar a number, I'd say it was 32.
I don't agree with that.
So, I told you, no necromancy that harms people. We have a contract. No Miranda rights. We do it to people we fight. Wait for the dungeon. We can Miranda rights all of them.
This is just water. I can't hurt water.
Okay. Well, it's water that people drink. I need you to start thinking broader. Broader, I cannot have you. And it's like I said, if you harm anybody, I'm gonna hit you. And you'll probably die.
You
So,
freaking out about this. I just need some water.
yes, well, we'll just hope that doesn't come back to bite us.
Maybe.
When has it ever come back to bite us?
Yeah, when have consequences ever come into play here?
Dead zombies, zombie fish, stealing a whole bunch of swords.
End of
Ray
the
wanted in just
world.
about every country
Right.
you've traveled to. But yeah, when has it ever come back to bite you?
He's having a history.
As the group rejoins, Connor does state. Becky eventually brings Dan back into the fold. So yes, I am to help basically make sure my brother doesn't die. But is there anywhere you want to go? I can act as your tour guide while you're here.
Yes, please take me to my shop.
A Mar shop?
There's a Mar shop.
The Farts Emporium.
Oh, your shop. That is my bad.
I definitely know where it is because I worked there my whole life and definitely didn't run away.
I don't believe that's true. In fact, weren't you traveling with my brother this entire time?
I see nothing.
Also, Dan, you left your parasol in the castle a long time ago.
Oh.
Just letting you know.
I'll grab it later.
He takes you to your shop. Oh, wait, where did Becky go? Hey, you disappeared on me.
Where am I?
Hello.
Okay, where'd you go?
Hang on, give me a
Becky?
second. Delete. Oh, wait.
Am I underneath?
Oh,
No,
oops.
I disappeared.
Connor, get off of her!
I
No!
disappeared.
No,
Ah.
I was trying to delete you so I can copy and paste.
Hello.
Okay, let's see if I can do it before one of you reacts. I'm gonna get Ray first because they seem to be the one most active. There we go.
Okay, well, everybody, just a
feel
heads
like
up.
I'm splitting.
Ray,
internally.
shut. Be quiet. I need to talk to everybody before we head out to try to upgrade Dan and other people who might be able to level up in a dungeon. We're gonna have to probably meet my mother. Just words of advice. I'm afraid of her, so I'm not gonna fight her.
I'm gonna meet your mom.
Yes, but
Aw.
meeting my mom is interesting. So, And also I'm afraid of her. Wait, did I say that?
Why are you afraid of her?
Well, she's... I'm not afraid of her. I tremble. She's just very, 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 very strong. Okay.
You.
Cool.
She can't be stronger than you.
Well,
The original creator of muscle magic?
yes, actually. She taught me how to muscle magic on, flex. And muscle magic off, unflex. As well as how to calf magic on, calf magic off. So, just heads up. Okay, I'm gonna go ask my brother.
Okay.
Spot!
Also, I would have just come into the door and gone to the right and sat down and started reading those books I got.
Okay. Good to know. I was wondering where you were at the shields. Heading towards Thaw, you do say hello. Comes around the corner, gives you a big bear hug, goes back, because he's totally on shift. It's been a few hours. So, how can I help you today?
Thought I have a blade for you. It should pay off my debts for this sword that's very, very amazing. I love it very much. Thank you.
You just drop it on the table. Oh, that's actually very expensive. Huh, once... Huh.
It was a good business deal. You'd be proud of me.
It seems to be a ceremonial blade from the House of Man. Oh, that's
I'm pretty good at
very expensive.
negotiating. Becky thinks
suppose you
mine
are.
is negotiating.
I'm sure. He does take it, and he does say, oh, I suppose this is this truck. Very well. Your, I suppose debt is no longer on the table.
Thank you. And then the biggest question I have here is, I am looking for, we'll need to speak with, mother, mama.
He trembles. His cadence begins to drop a little bit, but he does eventually pick it back up. Oh, must be important. I can bring her here. It will take an hour to retrieve her from where she's currently at, but if you're willing to wait.
Yeah, I believe we can wait.
All
I'll
right.
just be behind my comrades.
All right. Tremble.
You can hide behind me, Becky.
He comes over and begins to ask one of the attendants in the shop to watch over the place while he goes and get your mom. She nods. He then begins to head out.
Thank you. Everybody hide.
You're going to be hiding for an
hello.
hour.
She's your mom. I'm sure she
Ray
loves
is
you.
technically hiding already.
Hello. I would like to buy some fishing tackle that I could use kind of like earrings. Very glittery and very bright. Something I could spend lots of money on, like 2 gold.
By fishing tackle, do you mean like the lures, the hooks, or do you mean the food for the fish?
Like the hooks and the lures. I thought maybe if someone I loved didn't like shiny small rocks, I myself could become a shiny small man. And then maybe she will love me.
I can buy you. I can sell you. Buy you. I can sell you a fishing kit and some polish.
I would like... Oh, wow. How many lures are in there?
From what I am aware of,
Well, they-
5. It comes with 5
lure
lures.
me.
2 of them being a bobbing feather, and 2 of them and 3 of them being hooks. It comes with a fishing pole, the string that goes along with it, and 4 compartments for anything that you would need, that you would have of yourself.
Oh. Very cool. I have an idea. I would like to buy that.
That would be 10 gold.
Okay. 1 second. I
This
will
would include the
happily
polish
sell
as
you
well.
10 gold. Yes. I will buy it.
She gives you a fishing kit and like a nice it's not a tin can, but a can big enough that it's like have you ever drinking soda from a can? or pop, depending on where you're from. It's basically that size of polish. Very well.
Wow, that's a lot of polish.
It's
I
a lot
can
of polish.
me.
It's 10 gold, dude. 10 gold's a lot.
I
all right.
don't know the concept of money.
It's
Yes.
fair. All right. Is there anything else you need?
No, I will just lure my love now.
Oh, you're trying to go for a pun. That makes sense. Let me know how it works.
That's
Reality.
advanced, Dan. He's advanced to the level of puns.
Hello. I have acquired materials to make a necklace.
Hello.
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 Tempest,
Hello.
Hello.
are you not worried
Hello.
about Dan having unrequited love?
I mean,
Should we-
unrequited, no.
Should we
because-
let him figure it out on his own, or should we tell him?
Well, tell him what? That it's an arranged marriage, and that I don't know, if he likes her and if he wants to do it, then we should not stand in the way.
I'm such a meddler.
Hey, Dan, aren't you worried that maybe fishing hooks and things might be a little bit offensive to a certain audience?
Connor does state it depends on how he presents them, but it should not be standalone. Adam does state, going on to the conversation you guys were talking about, I totally agree. Not having a loveless marriage as a good thing, and it all depends on how you, as Connor stated, present them to the individual. They do fish here. Aquas is a main trading port and exporting of fish, mackerel, and the like.
Interesting. Well, Dan, I believe what you're doing is noble. And I cannot wait to see what you do with all that. Also, you're looking for things to hang off of you that are shiny. Have you ever considered turning one of your gold into a lot of copper and then covering yourself in copper coins?
That's actually a fair idea.
I do have copper coins.
Yes, and they have holes in them, do they not?
They do.
You string them between your lures so that you're all jingly as well.
I could jingle. Jingle does catch my attention as well. Anything flashing light and jingling just gets me.
Yeah, that's true. But as you're trying to discuss things about shining things, making sure not to cause any problems that would be looked at as problems, Ray is currently practicing necromancy, or at least reading up on it, making sure that they brush up on their skills. Completely unaware of what might happen into the town due to current circumstances. Your team does wait a bit until your mother arrives. It will be an hour, so you do have to... if you did get hurt, you can take a short rest to heal yourself up. If you didn't, that's fine. But your team waits until she gets here. And when she does, there's gonna be... Well, I'll put it this way. Becky is a very strong, powerful woman. She based herself off of the tutelage, the learning, and skills that her mom taught her. But a lot of it that Becky has been doing so far is based off of lies. She is from the streets after she decided to be on the streets. She is learned id, but stopped, learning because she wanted to be more like her mom. Becky is a facsimile of someone that has truly lived a harsh life. And basically, it's a weird way of phrasing it, but this is totally true. And then beat someone up into marriage. She is a very brutal woman. Someone to be feared. And, well, when she arrives, you do notice that there is a similarity to Becky. there is a strength behind her. And what that strength is which today. We'll figure that one out next time as we end the
Yay.
session for today.